and gentlemen, welcome back to the Kirby's Barbecue channel. We are happy to come to you live this Sunday evening at our normal time of 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hope everyone is doing well this evening. We had a pretty good weekend at the restaurant. Hope you guys had a good weekend as well, whether you were cooking for the family, cooking for customers, or just enjoying your weekend, doing your thing. I hope everybody had a good weekend. If you can, for those of you guys watching now, go ahead and check in with us here in the chat. Leave us a message, let us know, a comment, let us know where you're tuning in from. You know, I like to do this kind of roll call when we go live. And also, as always, feel free to put your questions in the chat. We're going to be talking about a little bit of everything today, like always, answering questions, kind of an open Q&A, as well as talking about fire management and everything that goes into that. We also have a pretty big announcement that we're going to be talking about here later in the stream. As you can see, my face is a little irritated from all the smoke this weekend. I just shaved, but it was getting a little long, and all the smoke is just freaking irritating, man. So I shaved up, looking all smooth now, but definitely some irritation going on. Man, that's something I never thought would happen was, after smoking barbecue every weekend, usually on Sundays, my face just starts to get real irritated from all that smoke coming into it. Chinook Barbecue, good evening. Hope all is going well. It is, my friend, it is. I am a bit tired, but I wanted to make sure I went live tonight. Hope you're doing well, Chinook Barbecue. TJ, what's going on, buddy? Good evening. Didn't know you were going live tonight. Yeah, like I said, I usually will go live on either Wednesday evenings or Sunday evenings. My Wednesday evenings, I've been pretty beat, pretty tired, and so I've been going live on Sundays instead, and that seems to be working out pretty well with everyone's schedule, including Greg from Brisky Daddy Barbecue. He will most likely be on later, but it just seems to be going a little bit better on Sunday nights. Everyone's home. Everyone is, just kind of winding down and trying to get their week started. And it's kind of the end of my work week, right? Because we serve on the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So this is kind of my Friday, typically you work all week. Friday comes, you're pretty exhausted, but you're happy because you got the weekend. This is kind of my weekend. After Friday, Saturday, Sunday service, I take Mondays off, kind of chill, relax, recoup, get some things done around the house. John Morris, hi, how you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. Four Queens Barbecue, checking in. What's up, brother? Ralph, there he is. We got everybody in here tonight. Everybody in here tonight. Chinook Barbecue, any new videos coming out soon? Yes. We will have some new videos coming out very soon. Stay tuned. I'll be making some content this week for you guys. Haven't been doing a lot of straight up videos lately. Been doing a lot of lives, but we're going to make some videos this week for sure. Pedro made it live, man. What's up, brother? I'm glad you made it live. Mark Nash, my man, Mark Nash TV. What's up, brother? Happy to see you in the live, my friend. Happy to see you in the live. Tap that like button. You know it. Tap that like button. We're going to be getting into it tonight. Yes, sir. We're just doing a little roll call, and then we'll get into the topics. We got Greg from Brisky Daddy Barbecue trying to get his camera squared away on the back end. Four Queens said, how's the new home feeling? It's feeling great, man. It's feeling great. Finally feel at home, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Hey, Kirby, what's up, man? I hope you're doing well. Greg, what's going on, brother? How are you? Uh-oh, we can't hear you. You got to get that mic connected. Can you ask a question now? Of course. Shoot. What you got? As always, all questions in the chat. We will chop it up and answer those questions.
Check two.
There you go. There you go. Anything barbecue, we want to hear about it. My parents just got back from a cruise. They were in Jamaica. Got me a nice little souvenir. So that's why we're rocking the Jamaica shirt. What's up, Greg? How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing good. Just running behind a little bit today, but that shirt does look. I like the colors on that, man.
Yeah, it's pretty
I like
smooth.
that.
Pretty smooth. You know what? I need
Yeah.
to put my AirPods in, as a matter of fact.
Yep. Yeah, we got a lot of people online. I'm trying to get
So
into
how's your
this
week,
chat
man?
real quick. Get to the YouTube set up on the side. Give me a
Yeah, do your
second
thing.
here.
Justin James, hey bro, what's good? Hey, just getting off of a great weekend. We sold a lot of brisket this weekend: ribs, turkey, sausage, baked beans, coleslaw, potato salad, chocolate pecan pie. We sold a lot of stuff this weekend, man. Touched a lot of new faces. Got to meet a lot of new customers. Serve a lot of new people. Everybody had a great experience. It was a great weekend. We ended up doing 13 briskets this weekend. About 13
Well,
briskets
what?
this weekend.
How do you? 13 briskets. Wasn't it? Wasn't it storming in Texas? If I looked, I remember looking at my map and I was like, it's storming out there,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Friday we had really bad weather, man.
Oh
Thunderstorms.
wow.
We had hail, pretty much all day, but we
Hmm.
were still able to have a really good day on Friday. And we actually beat last Friday. Last Friday was sunny, which was kind of crazy. But
Yeah.
so we did well on Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, we're always rocking out. So we did 13 briskets over those 3 days. We did, let's see, how many ribs? We did about 12 racks of ribs. We did 3 turkey breasts, and we did about 30 pounds of our house made jalapeno sausage. And so we were rocking, man. We were rocking. Had a
Yeah,
good
man. Those
weekend.
jalapeno sausage sounds great right about now. I can't wait to get to
Bro,
that level.
it's great, man. It's great.
You got cheese.
Justin
You have cheese
James.
oozing out of those.
No, no, no. I do it more of a traditional, like traditionally there's no cheese. I know the big thing, especially here in Texas, is jalapeno cheese sausage, but I'm not a big fan of cheese in my sausage. So
Okay.
I don't do it in this particular one. I do have a recipe for a chorizo. I've got a chorizo quesadilla sausage. I'll be kind of probably unveiling in a couple months here, but that one will definitely have some cheese. It's going to be good. James Barbecue is my catering and pop-ups, trying to follow your hustle, bro. That's what's up, man. That's what the channel's for, to live and learn, and for you guys to make some money. You guys
Yep.
to make some money. You
Definitely.
look like you're in a very peaceful setting there.
Man, yeah, that's why I was running behind. I went to set up somewhere new. The smoke shack is all beat up right now.
Yeah.
And so I was like, my wife said she was working outside a couple of days last week while I was gone. And
Uh-huh.
so yeah, I was like, hey, let me set up in the backyard. And yeah, so it is very peaceful out here. Hopefully I can leave this set up here and use this on a regular.
Okay, okay. Well,
Hmm.
guys, if
Hmm.
you are new to the stream, my name is Sean from Kirby's Barbecue. I run a barbecue restaurant. We're in the process of getting it fully open, fully permanent, fully open. We sell on the weekends in New Caney, Texas. And I've got a couple big updates we'll get into here shortly, but we've got Brisket Daddy Barbecue from Sacramento,
Updates.
California. If you're not familiar with his page, go like, comment, and subscribe to his
Or
page.
or like I like to say like, share, and eat.
There you go. Like, share, and eat. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So we got some chat. We got some comments in here we're going to get into. Michael Kelly took your advice and landed a pitmaster job in Brisbane. Been at it for a month. Learned a lot so far. Glad I listened. That's awesome, Michael. And what Michael's talking about is, I always tell people, if you are trying to get into this game and you don't have any restaurant experience, you need to go work in a restaurant, whether it's barbecue or not.
Definitely.
You need to go work in a restaurant and learn the ins and outs of how to run and manage a restaurant. You need to learn how to wash dishes. I know it sounds stupid, but you got to learn how to. You need to be the dishwasher. You need to be the busboy. You need to be the custodian. You need to learn how to do prep. You need to learn how to take orders. You need to learn how to do every single part. Be a line cook. Then learn how to be a shift lead and lead the shift. Lead other people. Managing, hiring people, firing people, doing inventory, placing food orders. I mean, there's just so much that goes into running a restaurant, and people think it's so easy or that they can just jump into it, and it's not how it goes. And so I tell everybody, I don't care if you're a millionaire. A lot of these guys with a bunch of money, they just want to go buy a franchise, and they think that that's going to be a good investment for them and it's going to pay off. And most of the time it doesn't, because that person may have a lot of money, but they don't have a lot of knowledge or skills to run a restaurant operation. So I tell everybody two things. Number one, go get a job at a restaurant part time and learn for a little bit. That way, you know what you're getting yourself into and what you're putting your money into. Right? Warren Buffett, when he talks about investing, he says never invest in something you don't know. And if you ain't never worked in a restaurant, the last thing you want to do is go buy a franchise. I'm telling you right now. That's
or a food truck,
or a food truck,
or a food trailer.
That
Yeah.
guy's dropping $45,000 on food trailers, man. It's crazy. And then they got to tow it with their $45,000 truck.
Yep.
And then the second thing I tell you guys is sign up for the coaching, man. Become a member of the channel. Sign up for the barbecue business coaching. That way I can guide and mentor you and help you strategize what you're going to do for your business. That way you're not going in, because the money that you spend, the $50 a month you spend for the coaching with me, that's going to save you hundreds of dollars a month, maybe even thousands of dollars a month when you're starting your barbecue business, because you may think you have to go buy this and you have to go buy that and you have to do this and spend money on that. And I can kind of guide you along the road so that you don't make those expensive mistakes. So it's worth it. But Michael Kelly, I'm glad to hear that. He says, my eyes were open on the very first day. I bet they were. I bet they were. I bet they were, man. Tailgate 360 LLC. Good afternoon, everyone. What's up, Tailgate?
Good afternoon, sir.
What's going on, man? We've got Gorkum. I think that's how you say it. How important is branding, name and logo when first starting out a pop-up? Not that important. I don't think it's that important at the beginning. I mean, I think you should do it. I think you should have a great name and a great brand and a great logo. But you know, that I wouldn't say that's the most important thing when you're first starting. What about you, Greg?
Yeah, it's not the most important thing, but it is important. I've wanted to have a restaurant for many years. I've always kind of thrived on building my menu and my brand, a logo and brand. Like once that all clicks, like it's kind of all like downhill from there. So as a filmmaker, producer, editor, like when I have all my elements and I have my music, it's a wrap. Like I'm not trying to like flip my own collar, but like once I have my own elements, I have my music, like the sky is the limit. So when I first started with the Brisket Daddy barbecue, I was Greg's backyard brisket, right? Because I was just slinging briskets from the backyard, and I was giving it away, and then I started selling it. People loved it, right? So, but something just kind of clicked with, I wanted to move, the backyard out of my name. So when I went to go and do community events, there was no issues with the health department or with anything in regards to associate, my backyard.
Right.
So one of my buddies was like, yeah, you're the brisket daddy, because like, there's nobody else out here doing this. And and I'm a father with 3 children, and I take care of my children. So there's a whole play. Like once you're able to make the plays, like I've got son of a brisket fries, right?
Yeah.
The classic brisket daddy sandwich. Papa's ribs, mama's desserts. um, you know, it's worked for me. I love my brand. I love my logo, and there's all kind of plays on the name. Like I'm working on one now. It says uh, "Taking care of briskets" or "Who's your daddy?" Right?
Yeah.
Who's your daddy? Brisket daddy. So just plays like that. So
Okay. Okay.
I think it's important. I think it's important. At least
Yeah.
for me, it allows me to help me live and breathe.
Right. No, no. I mean, not. I didn't mean to downplay it like to that extreme. I mean, it's important. It is.
Okay.
But I think where I'm coming from is that I think people focus too much on that at the beginning, and they're like, "Oh, I can't get started. I can't get started because I don't have a name. I can't get started because I don't have a logo. I can't get started because I don't have T-shirts and hats and all this merch and stuff."
That's
And
true.
that's when you get into the point where I think people blow it up more than it needs to be. But
That's
yes, you
true.
do want to get that locked in. You just, you don't want to
Mhm.
waste time and money and effort trying to get that in and having an excuse not to start because of that.
Right.
But
Right.
that's where
No,
I'm
I
coming
agree. No, I
from.
agree with you 100%. 100%. And then we
Thank you
make
guys.
these our
Go
own
ahead.
excuses. Oh, go ahead. I didn't see that just come up.
No, no, you're good. You want to read
Oh
it? Go
yeah,
ahead.
but um TJ, hey guys, that's extremely helpful. Good point on the menu and their names as well. How fluid was your menu during your first few months of starting pop up? I was all
For
over
me,
the place.
for me, it was
Go
pretty
ahead, you
smooth.
started.
For me, it was pretty smooth because I was doing a very simple menu, like I always teach you guys to do very simple menus at the beginning. Do a barbecue sandwich, chips, and a Coke, man. Start with that and then start experimenting, adding something new each week and seeing how people respond to it. If it does well, keep it. If it does poorly, get rid of it. But keep it simple at the start.
I guess I
Who's
was
your
simple then. Go ahead.
who's your daddy's barbecue platter?
Oh, see, I need to get my pen and paper.
There you go. There you go. Hopes is in here, man. Hopes barbecue. He's in here, man. I can dig it.
It's your daddy's
Well, I'm
barbecue
I'm
platter.
gonna throw this link in the chat. I'm gonna throw this link in the chat. If anybody wants to come up, I'm gonna leave it pretty much open today for people to
Yeah, so
come
come
up.
on in.
So you can obviously you can ask your questions in the chat, but if you want to kind of ask your questions live on camera, if you want to come up, click that link, that StreamYard link. It'll take you up here to the panel with us, and we can chop it up. Whether you want to talk about business, barbecue, branding, you want to promote your brand, whatever you got going on, hop up. Don't be shy. We'll talk about it. But kind of the first topic we wanted to get into today, right? You had mentioned fire management. We talked a little bit about that last weekend. Um, but Greg, why don't you talk to us? Why don't you open it up a little bit on fire management? Why was this such a pressing topic you wanted to go over today?
Um,
Put
yeah,
you on the spot.
because yeah, yeah, right. Okay. I feel like it's important for pit masters to understand, how to create your fire and be able to be doing, kind of two things at once. Right. We're going to come back to that, and
Mhm.
then timing. When your food's going to be ready or when you need it, and how you're going to manage, this 12 hours of time, right? Whether that's going to be from 3 a.m. throughout the day, or if that's going to be at 7 p.m. in throughout the evening, right? So I was, wanting us to touch on that when we start our fire, as we get that fire, going, we can be, trimming our briskets, right? And moving back and forth and making sure that that fire's getting going. You got a good coal bed, and you're doubling up your time in the kitchen.
Yep.
Prepping your food and getting that to be on the smoker within the hour and a half.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like it's really important to guys start fires different ways. I don't think we need to get into the simplicities of how we're starting our fires, from torches to lighter fluid to whatever you use.
Yep.
Once that all burns off, we want a good solid coal bed, right?
Right.
And we want to have splits on top of our smoker, ready to go in and catch fire. and burn a good clean fire.
Just not on top.
Um,
You just don't want a fire burning on top of your on your firebox, right? In dry
been there,
California.
been there, done that. So yeah, I've set a couple pieces on, messing around and stuff, and I got a blazing fire on top of my smoker.
Yeah.
Feet away from a wooden fence, and my wife is looking at me like, "I told you this was not a good idea." Like,
Oh man.
right?
Yeah. I mean,
So, go ahead.
fire management is one of those things I think is a little bit overblown. I think it's a little, I like to keep things simple, man. I think sometimes people complicate it a little bit further than they need to. Um, but I mean,
I do that with everything.
yeah. I mean, as far as fire management goes, you mentioned a good thing about kind of doubling up on your time and taking advantage of it. So, the first thing you want to do whenever you get to your pop up site, your restaurant, your food trailer, whatever you're doing, even if it's just in the backyard, first thing you want to do is start that fire. Because no matter what you're using, whether you're just using splits, whether you're using match light, whether you're using lump charcoal, whatever the case may be, um, you definitely don't want to put the food on before that fire is really kind of started, because if you're using charcoal, whether it's just regular charcoal, lump charcoal, match charcoal, you want all of, obviously this is like 101, right? But you want all of that black charcoal to turn gray before you put any meat on there. You don't want that taste of lighter fluid or dirty smoke or anything on your meat. So the first thing I always do is I start that fire. Once I've got the fire lit, then I'm not watching it at all. Once I got that fire lit, I'm going inside. I'm seasoning my meats. I'm doing other stuff. I'm trying to get other things ready. And I know in 15, 20 minutes, that fire is going to be going pretty good. And it's going to be ready for me to go ahead and put the meat on. Now, from there, as far as fire management goes, is you should be breaking down your cook really into 45-minute splits. Essentially, you should be adding new wood to your fire approximately every 45 minutes. uh, and so when you're smoking meat, you need to get control of how fast you need to get. um, you need to know how fast your smoker is burning wood. And if you're running an efficient fire, every 45 minutes should be plenty amount of time for the logs that you put on 45 minutes ago to have given your fire enough fuel for it to be hot enough for that time period and for it to break down into where it's ready to take that shovel and turn those wood into coals, right? Turn that wood into coals so you can lay your next log. It's all about replacing those logs with charcoal and with coals, right? From the wood that you're burning. So I think that, once you learn your smoker and you kind of figure out, okay, how many logs do I need to put on to maintain a certain temperature, then you shouldn't be checking it every 10 minutes. This shouldn't be
You
something
should
that you
not
need to
be.
do. No,
You
you
should not
shouldn't.
be
You
checking.
shouldn't
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
do that.
So you're saying if it takes 3 logs for me to keep my smoker at temperature, then every 45 minutes I need to be adding 3 logs to my smoker to maintain that for another duration of 45 minutes.
Essentially, right? Because
Okay.
the logs of wood that you put on the fire now in 45 minutes to an hour, those should become your new coal bed, and the old coals should drop through your grate, right? And be ash, be nothing, right? And so you're always replacing that coal bed with the logs that are burning, right? And then you're adding new. Now you will get to a point where you have such a large and hot coal bed, you won't have to add those 3 logs. You may just have to add one or two,
Okay, so
because
let's pause. Yeah,
yeah,
because what?
because the coals is what really gives you the heat. The coals is what is keeping your temperature, not the wood splits. You throw the wood splits on, that's what's getting you your smoke and your flavor,
Mhm.
but the heat is coming from those coals.
Okay, so when I first got my vertical smoker, I was using the chafing dishes bottoms. The bottoms you put the water in, the
Yep,
deep ones,
yep.
and I was making fire in 2 of those at the
Mm.
back end of the smoker. Well, I felt like I was getting the furnace hotter because my coals would stay in this in this bucket, they had nowhere to go.
Yep.
But since I've recently put on a grate, like I don't have that heat anymore.
Mhm.
And I thought that having a coal bed was of a benefit to be able to keep this, smoker hot.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and in my mind, I was thinking that would require for me to use less wood.
Mhm.
So, like, do I need to, like, or can you speak on that? Because and for instance, after earlier on when I did a cook on in one of those, I took the pan out, and I think the day later I put it in the recycle bin, and the
Yep.
recycle bin was smoldering, and
Yep.
I was like, somebody's barbecuing outside. And like, who? Because who's doing that? Because ain't nobody out here doing that. And
Yeah.
come to find out, it was smoldering all day long, and I actually had to put a hose to it, and it's got
Yep.
a little hole in the bottom of the thing. But so is it a benefit to be having the coals, or do we not want the coals
Well,
for
yeah. I mean,
extended periods of time?
yeah. I mean, you need coals, but the thing is, it's a natural process to where you're going to go from your split to you're going to go to hot coals, to you're going to go to smaller hot coals until it's going to become ash and just drop through the grate, right? So, I mean, it's just a process of the wood burning, but I don't think fire management is as complicated as people make it out to be. I think you just got to learn your smoker.
Yep.
You got to learn your smoker and go from there.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
Cold steel. Do you stuff your own sausage or buy it at first? If you mean at first, like when you're first starting doing pop ups, things like that, I would buy it. I would buy it first, unless you already have a culinary background, or you've already got a grinder and you've been and stuffer and you've been testing it and you feel pretty confident about it. I don't see anything wrong with buying it at first, but eventually, the goal I think for everyone should be to make their own sausage, in my opinion, anyway. It's a lot of work. I'll tell you that. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it, I think. Um, I think it's worth it. And you kind of charge a premium for that too. But at first, there's nothing wrong with buying it. Nothing wrong with buying it at all. What else we got, guys? What other questions we have, Greg? What is going on in your world? I know you have been working a lot at the day job, but what's going on in your barbecue world, my friend?
Well, in my barbecue world, I was approved for my MEV license from the state of California, Sacramento County.
Nice, very
That
nice.
is hot off the press. No one knows that but all of your guests. And I'm so
Congratulations.
happy to share that with you and everyone,
So
that I am an official vendor.
okay, so that is your essentially your mobile vendor license, right?
That
So
is
like
my temporary food facility, but for multiple events.
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So you were able to get one permit for multiple events. That's pretty cool in California. We don't have that here. We have to get a permit for each and every single event. So that's kind
Hmm.
of cool that you got that. That's pretty awesome, man.
Yep. Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank
Now
you,
you're
sir.
official. You're official like a
I am
whistle, like a referee
I'm
with a whistle.
official. Yeah, I'm official, official, official. Yep.
There
I
you
have
go.
my first community event. And it was funny because yeah, my first community event is at a really prominent school around the corner. And they were like, yeah, come be a food vendor for us. And so I agreed. And, here we are a couple weeks out. And I never thought they were going to ask me for anything. I thought they were just, a lot of people don't know, like what the rules are for community events. And so they're just, have something. You're not asking questions. I'm not asking questions. So, yeah, she sent me an email on Friday and was like, hey, we're so excited to have you. Can you please send us over your insurance, your business
Mhm.
permit, and your permit to operate? And we look forward to seeing you.
Greg,
Got you. Got
did we
you.
not did we
Got
not
you.
have this conversation? We had this conversation a couple weeks ago on the phone. Do you remember this?
Yeah,
When
slightly.
you said I'm gonna refresh your
Oh,
memory. You said,
yes.
"Hey,
I do.
you
I
said,
do.
should I get this permit?" And we had this exact conversation where
I
we
do.
said,
Yeah.
most people don't really ask for it, especially if it's a private event. It's not really a big deal,
Mhm.
but you should probably go ahead and get it since you're doing more events and getting your. You remember this, right?
I do remember this.
And then bam, and then you needed it. So get the
On my
barbecue
first
coaching
community event.
on your
Yes.
first event. Get the
Right.
coaching. I'm telling you,
I
I will
need a
guide you in the right direction, bro.
I need a $3 line to buy this man a cup of coffee a month.
There
And
you
I
go.
need a $50 line so you can go ahead and have all three things that I have and have community events. Like I have 2 events lined up and I'm ready to be done for the year. Seriously.
Who
Like,
who'd you get your insurance through? Did you get
oh,
the
come
insurance
on.
yet or no?
Yeah, I've been had insurance. Now, come on. How am
Huh?
I going to be a student and follow the program and not have flip?
Oh, hey, there you go. He got flipped. There you
Hey,
go. See,
I'd
this is
be,
what I'm
I'm,
talking about. Look, this is why this is why we plug the barbecue coaching, bro. Because, Bo, dude would have had this is a big event for you. How many people? How many people are you going to
1,200
feed?
people,
1,200 people.
1,200.
Huh? So,
Two,
and you're
two, me and a taco truck guy.
okay.
And I'm the
So,
new guy on the block.
let's just picture this for a second. How
Mhm.
much money do you think you're gonna make at this event?
I don't know. Hopefully, like 6,000.
Okay, $6,000. But
That's what I want to
had
make.
had
Right.
had you not got the barbecue coaching, you wouldn't have
Right.
had you wouldn't have had your permit, you wouldn't have had your
Right.
insurance, you wouldn't
Right.
have had none of that stuff, and she wouldn't have allowed you to go sit up out there, and
Mm-mm.
you'd have missed out on $6,000 worth
I
of
would have
stuff.
been embarrassed. I would have been doing all this work and just playing it cool, being the taco truck guy, but selling brisket sandwiches, right?
Yep,
And when I say taco truck guy in California, there's like it's inundated with people setting up pop-up tents and trailers. You got guys running around with like nice trailers and nice trucks that aren't even like legit certified. But
right.
because we see them as trucks, we think like, oh, they're good.
They
But on
must
top
have
of
their
that,
stuff together.
yeah, they must have the stuff together, right? But on top of that, everybody who does have a tent or a trailer or truck is primarily doing, tacos and burritos and stuff. So that's what I mean when I say that. Um, but 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 yeah, so I just felt like it was like you coached me and said, hey, you should do this, even with the catering stuff. Like
Yep,
my catering people aren't asking me for my cater permit,
right,
but it's going to be beneficial for me to have it because as soon as that person says, show us the paperwork. So I would have been embarrassed if I'd have been doing all this and didn't go and apply for my permit, and then a week out I'm telling her, oh, I actually can't do this because I'm not legit.
right.
So
And how much was the permit for what you had to
uh,
get?
it was four was it 480.
Okay. So you
Hmm.
pay 480 for the permit, $50 for the coaching. So you're in at like five, whatever it is, 530 or whatever, 525.
Right, right,
But now you have the opportunity to make 6 grand.
right.
It's a
Mhm.
no-brainer.
Right.
That's why I don't get
And this is I'm gonna say this is gonna be in 2 days, right? Because like Monday through Thursday, I'm gonna be working, producing some events, and then I'm gonna come home Thursday night, cook all throughout the night, right? And then
yep.
be ready for Friday night. Like, let's go.
There you go. There you go. What's up, Brian? Hope you're doing well, brother.
Hey Brian.
TJ said, I just did 15 pounds of jalapeno and cheddar smoked sausage about an hour ago. 2-day process. Hey,
Okay.
I'm sure it turned out great though. TJ, you gotta send me some pictures, man. I want to see what this
Uh
jalapeno cheddar sausage looked like.
I'm
I'm
looking for somebody. I'm trying to get somebody else in the game. Who can send cheddar sausage my way, and I sling it out here in California, and I just
there
I
you
just
go.
send the proceeds right on back.
Hey man, what about me? I'll vacuum seal some sausage.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, Captain.
TJ,
I'll get.
I got that StreamYard link in the comments section, man. If you want to hop up here and say what's up to the people, that would be dope, man. I got it in there. I'll
Oh,
put
that's what I'll do. I'll get my cheddars from TJ, and then
yep,
I'll get my regular from you.
there you go. There you go. We got to make sure you can still make a profit though.
Or how about I just come down to the grand opening and get in
Yep,
that kitchen for about good 3, 4, 5 days,
yep. And you'll learn how to do it.
and then I'll learn how to do it.
Learn how to do it yourself. There you go. Gorkum, I'll send you some venison jalapeno cheddar sausage. There you go. Venison. Get you some deer meat, man. Get you some deer sausage. They do that a lot here too, not in the restaurants, but like people that, I mean, we're in Texas, so that we got a lot of people who hunt and do fish and do all that good stuff. So that's what's up. You guys are quiet tonight, man. We ain't got the questions flowing. You guys are quiet tonight. I'm trying to get it going. But while we're waiting on questions, I got some announcements to make, actually. So members of the channel already saw it, but the Smoke Shack is almost complete. Almost complete. It is looking very good. We'll be moving in our current smokers into the Smoke Shack this week. We've got electricity. We'll be doing plumbing this week. All the site, well, 95% of the siding is done. The mesh screen is up. We got to put one more door on there. The big door. I don't know if we're going to do a roll-up door. That's the door that the smokers are going to be able to go through. Like a 5-foot wide door. It's pretty large. So that's the first announcement. Smoke Shack is coming along very well, almost 100% complete. And then the second announcement, which is a big announcement. As you guys know, we have Paul from PRM Barbecue Co. on a couple of weeks ago, and we kind of pressed him a little bit. We kind of put up with, he did. I don't know if he knew how many people were live on here, but we kind of pressed him a little bit for an answer on when the smoker was going to be done. And he let me know this week that it will be done before the grand opening. Maybe even a whole week before the grand opening.
That would be great. Get a little season on it.
Yeah, so that's big. That's big time. I think he reached out. I want to say he reached out on Wednesday, I think, and he basically told me I had about 14 days before it would be complete. So super excited for that. Now I just got to pay for the damn thing. But yeah, super excited for that to come in. I did already have a couple guys reach out to Paul to kind of take a look at what he's doing and get some quotes. So that's cool. But yeah, smokers pretty much, they'll probably start on it. At some point this upcoming week, which is cool. Hope's Barbecue, can't wait for the 250 videos, man. It's gonna be sick. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna be making a lot of videos on that 250. I know I've been slacking, guys. I know I've been slacking on the videos. I apologize. I was talking to Greg earlier, trying to brainstorm some ideas. He sent me all these video ideas, which I'm very grateful for, because I've been busy. Been a little in a bit of funk as far as video ideas, but we're gonna get it popping. I promise we'll get those videos rolling. Four Queens Barbecue. I'm cold smoking right now, trying hot links for the first time. Okay. Yeah, those should turn out good. Cold smoking is a really good technique. You can get a lot of color and a lot of snap on those. That cold smoke does allow you to get a really good snap on your sausages because it dries out that casing. So when you put it back on to cook it to done, man, the snap on those things, snap it open, it's just juice is just gushing out, man. Cold smoke is a good technique. I can dig it. Congrats on the smoker being complete on time. Thank you. It's not done yet, but it's supposed to be done on time. So I'm looking forward to it. I know he wouldn't have told me that if it wasn't going to be possible to get it done. So
right. Quick question before you transition. Going out the back door up to the patio, are you going to lay cement there from the door to the patio there? And
go ahead.
Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're not going to lay like actual concrete down. It will probably be a wooden staircase or some kind of not cinder block, but kind of concrete stairs down from the patio, something like that. We got.
Oh, that's an elevation from the patio to the smokehouse. Is a
yeah,
2-drop elevation.
Yeah, the patio is a little bit higher. It's probably.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, maybe 2 feet, high or something like that. But
Okay.
yeah, it's a little bit of a drop. It's nothing crazy, but it's a little bit of a drop. So we got to build something. First of all, we got to kick out that wall, which isn't a big deal. It's not like a complete wall. It's a couple boards, a couple thick boards of wood. We'll take down and then build that walkway. But yeah, that'll get done when it gets done.
Okay.
Fat Man Barbecue. What's up, brother? Go ahead, Greg.
And the landlord is there. He's building that part also.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
let's get back to fire management, right? So how do you start? What is the best way to start a fire? Um, yeah. What is the best way to start a fire, Sean?
There's no best way to start a fire. There's just the way
Okay.
that you feel most comfortable with.
Okay.
Um, I think from my experience, I've done it all. I've tried to start it kind of from scratch with kindling and whatnot underneath just logs. All of the ways work. If you start a fire, you start a fire, right? But there's definitely more efficient ways to do it. I do have a propane torch, and that works well when you're using regular charcoal or lump charcoal. That works very, very well to get those coals nice and hot very quickly, so that you can catch those wood splits on fire quickly. But honestly, what I've moved to is matchlight charcoal. That's what I've moved to, because I built a little baby bed of matchlight. I throw about 3 to 4 splits on top, and then I light a match, drop it in, and I walk away. And I go back into the
Oh,
kitchen. I go back into the kitchen and start seasoning my meat and getting it ready to go on the smoker. That is the fastest way. Now, matchlight is hella
that is the
expensive,
best.
especially when you're doing as many cooks as I'm doing. The matchlight price can kind of add up. Not going to lie, but it is the
Gotcha.
quickest way. It is the quickest way, the most efficient way, and it is my favorite
Mm,
way. Is a little
okay.
matchlight bed, couple splits, throw the match on there, walk away.
Okay.
Eh, you know,
Okay. I like that idea though, because okay, so tell me what is the most inexpensive way to start a fire?
probably trying to do some kind of kindling. Maybe grab
Mhm.
some butcher paper, maybe some
Oh,
sticks.
okay.
Make a
So
little contraption, throw a little olive oil on it, light that
check it
thing
out.
up with some logs on top, and you'll be good.
It was on Instagram. I was scrolling, and this lady was like, it was like a survival video of some such, right? So
Yep,
they took a what are the not the Q-tip cloth, but what is that little round cloth? What's that called?
like a cotton ball.
Cotton ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Took a cotton ball and put it in Vaseline
Yes.
and
Yep.
put it
That's
into
an
a
easy way.
Ziploc bag. So that would probably be crazy cheap, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy cheap. That's easy to do. It's just what frustrates me is because I'm on a time, guys. I'm not a overnight. I
Yeah.
don't do overnight
Yeah.
cooks.
You
They
got it.
just destroy my, like, I need my sleep, so I don't do overnight cooks. And
Mhm.
I see you, TJ. I'll bring you on here in a minute. um, I don't do overnight cooks. I don't do 3 a.m. ribs, 4 a.m. ribs. I don't do that. I get to my restaurant about 6 a.m., 6:30 sometimes. And I know I need to get my ribs on by 7 o'clock. If I get my ribs on by 7 o'clock, the way that I cook them, I can get them done before service at 11. And so for me, I don't have time to mess around with any bushcraft ways of lighting fires or sitting there with the flame. The flamethrower is efficient, but you got to light it. It's just, if the torch goes out, then you got to relight. I don't have time to do all that. So I lay a little bit of match light, throw my logs on there, light that thing, and I'm good to go.
Makes
So
sense. Makes
yeah,
sense.
I mean, that's kind of what it is. TJ, welcome to the stage, my friend. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good, good. You guys are killing me with your backgrounds. Everybody, Greg had a phenomenal background on the live a couple weeks ago. It looked amazing. He had the 4K cameras set up. Different microphones and angles. He pushes a button and you can see different parts of the room. And then you got a nice little setup with
You got a
I see
nice
the
setup.
wood back there, the smoker. Man, how you doing tonight, TJ?
I'm good. I was actually working last weekend when you had your live and was watching that while I was working. I built this wood shed for all the wood that I had when I cut all my trees down, and I have the smoker here, the Brazos, which is I've
Okay.
been having a learning curve on that.
How long have you had it? Because you bought it. When'd you buy it?
A couple months ago.
Okay. 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 And the Brazos, what is the difference between the Brazos and the Pecos? 'Cause that's what I
It's a
run with.
thicker metal on the firebox, so my splits are extremely small in comparison to what you were burning.
So the
So
Brazos have
is it an
thicker metal,
insulated? Is it
right?
an
No,
insulated box or is it just a thicker box?
it's a thicker one. I think it's a 1/4 inch thickness on the box and the cook chamber itself. So,
And that one goes for like what? 1100?
it was like 12.
Like 1200? Okay.
Yeah.
See, you had to stun on me a little bit. I'm working with a $500 Pecos.
I thought you had gotten that. I thought you had gotten the Brazos, and when I had said I got the Brazos, you said you actually had the Pecos, which is just that
Yeah,
thinner metal.
yeah, yeah. Well, are you enjoying it at least? I know you're learning it.
I'm enjoying it. I learned on a Traeger first, then I switched over to Camp Chef on the pellet smoker, and trying to build the smoker, but I just don't have the.
Uh-oh, you froze on us, TJ.
I was debating on doing a trailer or a skid. I'll probably end up
Hold
doing
on.
that as a skid.
Hold on. Back up, TJ. You froze on us. What did you say?
Oh, where I lose you?
You lost me. Where did you lose us, Greg?
We lost it a couple times, but something about putting it on something on a skid. But just
I wanted to build my own smoker. I have a 150-gallon propane tank that I cleaned up and cut open, and then but I just don't have the time to finish it off right now. That's why I just buckled down and went and bought the Brazos.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I knew the Brazos had thicker metal than the Pecos, but at the time when I got it, I wasn't even thinking about doing barbecue as a business when I got my Pecos. I just knew I wanted to offset for the backyard, and I saw the two offsets, and I was like, I'm not spending $1,200 when I could get the same size smoker for 500. Because I mean, when you're first starting, you're not really thinking about the thickness of the metal and the firebox and things like that. You're just thinking kind of price, and I get an offset for $500. Cool, let's do it. you know.
It was probably like I think it was like 6 or 7 here. I'm in the New Orleans area, so
Okay.
it's from what Texas area, so they had to ship it over.
Yeah, they actually make them. They're handcrafted. They make them in Mexico. So we're right. We're right there. We're right there next to Mexico. It's a little bit
I
easier.
okay.
did
So
text you. I'm sorry.
no, I was
No, no,
gonna say so the Pecos is what is the thickness? Is 14 gauge on the Pecos?
I have no idea, bro. Like I'm very simple. Like I don't get into the technicals of things. I'd have to look that up, man.
Yeah, I was
Maybe
trying to
we
look for it here, but
chat GPT it. Chat GPT it. Chat GPT will
oh,
tell you.
It is
oh,
thinner in comparison. I was actually in Academy yesterday trying. I needed to get more hog casings, which they don't
Yeah.
sell there anymore, and saw the Pecos and lifted up the firebox. It's definitely
Yeah.
a thinner metal.
hmm.
So you see what I'm struggling with. Ladarius said,
Yes.
I just had, and I remember you, Ladarius. He said, I just had your brisket today, got 2 pounds right before y'all closed, man. I need 5 more pounds. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you,
It, it, it
thank you,
sounds
Greg.
like you enjoyed it, Ladarius. I'm glad you did, man. I'm glad you did. Um, yeah, man, you should have told me you needed 5 more. I'd have cut you 5 more pounds. I had 5 more pounds of brisket for you, brother. But yeah, come see us next weekend. Come see us next weekend, Ladarius, for sure. Look at that. I got customers in the chat, man.
That's perfect. That's what you want. That's a sign of good business. So, TJ, as far as your smoker, how often for your fire management? First off, how are you starting your fire, and then how often do you have to put splits on?
I started with just like the regular, or what is it? The charcoals with the chimney to then
Oh,
get
okay.
that going. Yeah, with the chimney instead of using a lighter fluid, I kind of got away from that, and then create the bowl, the coal bed, and put the wood splits on top of that to get that going. It works out
Okay.
for me.
Yeah, yeah. So you put in a little chimney coal maker, and use something to kind of get those coals going, and then you put it into the smoker, and then you lay splits on top from there. And then,
Yes.
so how often do you have to put splits on?
So mine are smaller, so I'm having to do like every 20 to 25 minutes, depending. I'm still working on mastering that, keeping the heat consistent.
Just don't fall asleep or drink too many beers. No, I'm messing with
I don't bother drinking when I'm doing
So
it. I don't want to burn
so
the food.
you. Yeah.
so
Are you?
so go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off. I know you built the woodshed, man. Are you chopping your own wood, or are you buying it locally, or where are you getting your wood from?
Well, I bought some to start for cooking purposes from a guy that just, so I got like a half a cord actually like a
Yep.
year or so ago. It was a while, and I've been sitting on that because I was expecting to do the build the offset. That didn't happen. That's why I buckled down and went and got the Brazos.
Hmm.
But I have a whole bunch of trees that I've been cutting down on my property. I have like a half a acre and cut down a whole bunch of white oaks that I have here. That's what's sitting behind me. Is I had to build a woodshed, so I split all that. I actually went and got a wood splitter because I wasn't going to do that by hand.
Of course, of course. Greg, you were going to ask something. Go ahead, and then I have a thought. I'm gonna try not to forget it. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, as I forgot mine, right? Um, Go ahead with yours first. How about that?
Okay, so you said you have white oak on your property and you're
Yeah.
chopping it. Now, let me ask you this, man, because the wood needs time to season. Because if it's a
Yes.
lot, well, I guess it depends on how dead the tree was, right? Because if it's a live tree, it's going to have a lot of moisture in it, and that needs to sit out and be in the sun for a while. Some of these guys, they'll season the wood for 8, 9 months in the Texas heat, to get it dried out. How are you doing with that? I'm assuming these trees are dead, right? They've been dead for a minute or what?
Well, I caught them. I'll actually like pull the camera down and go show you real quick while I talk to you. Um, I cut them down probably 7 or 8 months ago.
Okay.
Let's see, it might be too dark with what I
A little
have.
bit, but we got it there. Yep.
We see
Okay.
you.
And I had to buy a wood splitter because I wasn't going to do that by hand. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still using the wood that I got from the guy that provided the season wood. So I
Okay.
Oh,
cut
okay.
that down with a chop saw. Then I use the wood splitter to get it to the
Whatever.
size that I want it to be because it was
Okay.
it was more like 18 inches big.
Yeah.
So that was too big for
So,
this, obviously.
oh,
Right.
okay. So you're limited to the size of the split, um, which
Yeah.
leads me to my original question: what challenges and difficulty are you having as you learn your pit, that you're having with your smoker? What are some of the challenges that you're having to keep temperature? Is it the duration of, like, you have to do it every 15 to 20 minutes, and you're not able to get back to the fire that often?
Uh, since I've been starting it, I'm actually sitting with the fire all damn day. And it's like, well, the splits are too small. That it's only going to burn 15, 20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Also tried it with the rack in there that gives you that space. I tried it without the rack because I had other people saying on YouTube, oh, you can turn it a certain way and it'll do this and do that to give you the temperature you need. I'm
Yeah.
still figuring it out myself because I did most of my cooking before on pellet smoker, and
Okay.
even the first true cook I had on it after the burn in still came out way better than the pellet smoker. And I've got the Camp Chef where it actually has a firebox where you can put wood chunks in, not just the
Yeah.
pellets, but actual wood chunks in, which does well, but it still comes out better with a live fire.
Now, something I want to back up just for a second. The reason I asked about the seasoning of the wood is because we have a lot of guys in the chat who might be a little bit new, and I don't want them to think they could go chop down a white oak and then
Oh
take that
no.
wood.
I actually
It's
got
got
a
its full
water. I got
seasoning.
a moisture meter,
Yeah.
and I actually haven't used what I've chopped down yet. I'm still
Yeah.
using the seasoned wood that I bought from the guy.
Okay.
I'm still like half of that left, but I know also cutting them down into smaller sections,
It helps go faster.
it helps it dry out faster. You know, I'm in
Yeah.
Louisiana, so you know
It's
it's hot
humid.
here.
It's hot.
Yes.
It's humid, and absolutely. Okay. Okay. Good deal. Um, let's see. We had some questions in here. Fat Man Barbecue said, "Do you cover your wood?" Um,
Me,
go ahead. You can answer it first.
that's why I built the woodshed,
Yes,
the
sir.
firewood shed, because it's all trees here, and we get the rain, and it was horrible trying to just keep a tarp over it.
Mhm.
Yeah, you
So,
definitely want
so
to
yeah, it's
cover
covered.
it. You want to cover the top, but if you notice on his woodshed, right, he's got those slats of wood open. Like there's openings there because you got to let air through there. You got to let it dry out. I mean, you can't just. I don't recommend putting it in an actual shed and just letting it sit there because it's going to get real nasty in there. Especially if you're in a humid environment like TJ is in Louisiana, or I am in Texas. Um, if you're in Sacramento, California, like my boy Greg, you might be okay because it's pretty
Put a
dry out
tarp
there.
on it and call it a day, right?
Yeah, you might be okay out there.
But you're saying by putting a tarp on it is not necessarily optimal because you wanted to breathe. Is that what you were leading to?
Well, what I did before is I had put a tarp, I had a metal fence and wrapped the top with a tarp just so it kept it like it was more like a lid, so the sides were all open. But then the
Yep.
tarp itself does deteriorate, and the
Yep,
particles fall into the wood. So I was like, yeah, I can't do
Yep.
that anymore.
Yep. That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
Justin James said, I'm looking into getting a Myron Mixon H2O water smoker. Has
Ooh.
anyone ran that unit? I've never heard of that before. You might have to look that up. I've never heard of that. Brian said, I called in sick to work this past Friday, picked up my offset smoker. Okay, there you go. There you go.
Did you
I'm gonna
use
Uh,
it?
relocate inside because it's getting dark
Okay.
now.
Yeah, it is.
Hope's
Did
Barbecue
you take
said,
that day off and pick it up and then cook? He should have
yeah,
cooked too.
I hope you took advantage of the day that you called
Right.
off work and smoked something.
Right.
Hope's Barbecue said, that's how you do it, Brian. Congrats on your new offset. Tejano Smoking Barbecue said, hello, my fellow pit masters. It's dry here in Colorado, low humidity. Yes, it is, man. Yes, it is. It is very dry in Colorado. I used to live there. So TJ, man, are you locked in? Are you ready? Are you ready for the grand opening, man? You ready to make the trip up here?
Yeah, I already booked the place that we're staying.
Okay,
So we're good to go. My wife's excited to help.
good deal. Good deal. What is you and your wife's favorite cut of meat to eat, man?
Whatever I cook her.
Okay. That's the right answer. That's the right
That is a
answer.
great answer.
I've had a lot of people this week asking if we do beef ribs, so that might be something we'll add for the opening. I don't know if I'll do it every weekend.
Hmm.
Certainly, when we get busier, that might be something I do.
Yeah.
Probably maybe on Saturdays or Sundays or something. But for the opening, I may slip in some beef ribs there, and because it's been something people have been asking about, so we'll
And
see.
that's
Well,
completely like acceptable. Like we should be able to, serve whatever we want whenever we want it. It's our restaurant. So like if you want to have beef ribs this week and not next week, then great. Do it. Don't let
Yeah,
anything stop it. If you don't think like, oh, okay, well, this week I want to try this at my pop up, and then the next week I want to try something else. Like, if that's what you want to do, like, do it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
sky's the limit. You just got to get out there and be creative and make things happen.
Not to be gossipy, but I'm going to be a little gossipy. Have you guys ever heard of the Turkey Leg Hut?
no.
It was a
No,
very popular restaurant here in the Houston area. If I have some people in the live from Houston, they'll know what I'm talking about. Man, they were like super popular for a while, and they had a
Turkey Leg
lot of
Hut, HUT. Okay,
bro. If you guys want some restaurant drama, man, you got to look these guys up. They're not open anymore, but I mean, The owner was setting fire. He was setting fires like they had a falling out. Like two owners had a falling out. One of them tried to set a fire on the property. There was a bunch of theft. There was it's like a whole drama. Like they could make a Netflix documentary on it. It was some really crazy stuff going on.
I'm
But
looking at some of the taglines. Yeah, this is
read them out, Greg. What do they say? What are the taglines?
Turkey Leg Hut sold marijuana using bags branded with restaurant logo. Turkey Leg Hut allegedly sold California pot out of branded. Hold on, Houston. Ex-Turkey Leg owner hut accused of selling weed. Former Turkey Hut owner pleads not guilty in federal court. Yeah, these guys are a little bit different.
Now, if you read a recent one, the guy just got arrested. I think he literally burnt somebody's restaurant down or something like that.
Yeah. Former Turkey Leg owner accused of paying to burn down a bar.
Bro,
2020 bar. Oh, this is 2020 bar explosion.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? I'm like, these guys were on something. I'm like, dude, sell your turkey legs and have a good time. But nah, that
turkeys have come home to roost.
He's going to jail, bro. They're going to jail.
Yeah, I got
back on the beef ribs. Remember, I just did those on Easter weekend. They came out good. Neighbor loved them. We went over there for Easter, and I brought that. They ate crawfish, and I brought the brisket. I brought brisket and the beef ribs.
Okay. Now,
and you did this on your wood smoker?
Yeah.
How long did you say you cooked them for? I know you told us, but
so I did 8 hours on the beef ribs and 11 and a half, 12 hours on the brisket. I started the brisket earlier and then tossed those on after. And I ended up finishing them off in my pellet smoker just for the heat. Once I wrapped them, I'm like, I don't need to sit on the smoker itself anymore.
Yeah. You didn't have any pride in that. You was like, let me just finish these. There you go.
Okay.
Well, I did text you. I'm sorry, Greg. I did text you a picture. The sausage I did. I just finished it up a little while ago.
Let me see. Yeah, I have my phone on Do Not Disturb. That's why I didn't see it. Oh man, those look great. You case these?
Yeah.
You need a part-time job? No, these look great, man.
I'm vacuum seal some, and I'll bring them up with me when we come.
Yeah, no, those shoot, man. Those, that's one thing.
Are you showing that to the TV? Are you showing that to the camera, or is that just for? Oh, okay. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I see it. We see it. Yep, that looks good. Those are cold smoked. That's in the form of cold smoked, or
yes. I smoked it with just a smoke tube with the pellets when I do the pellet smoker, and I did that for about 4 hours, and then finished it off in the cabinet smoker, bring it up to temperature, and then ice bathing it down.
Now, let me ask you this. So, just clarify. You said you did case those yourself, right?
Yes. Oh, I did it. It's all from scratch. Yeah.
Okay. What kind of hog casings are you using? Because, and I'm going to tell you why I'm asking you this, is because
I got it from my meat market. Normally, I would get like limbs or what was it, hog sausage or something. But I just went to my local meat market and got a whole shank or hank or something. I don't know what it was called, but it's a little bit bigger, and it was like $30 for a whole thing. But I got 2 strings that filled up 15 pounds, so I have a ton of it left.
Okay. I need to look into that because all of you, one thing that stood out to me on that picture you sent me is all of your links are almost identical.
That's
exactly the same size, bro. And
so go ahead.
I have a really hard time getting consistency because some of the hog casings that I have, even if I do my best, some of them are just because they're natural. They're all natural hog casings. So those intestines they make them out of, they're all different sizes. And so like I'll get good couple links, a good couple rows of links that are pretty good size like that and pretty even. But then sometimes they're just so ununiform.
Yeah, I this is the first time I didn't use the pre-made hog casings that you would get just like for the Weekend Warrior deal. I got from the meat market what you would just get as if you're mass producing it, I assume.
Yeah. Okay.
And I used a dough scraper or chopper. It's a 6-inch one, and pretty much every time I went to go and crimp it and spin it, put it at 6 inches. So they're all kind of consistently around that size.
Yeah, but not only the length I can do even. That's not really an issue. But the size, man, without them bursting, the cases
Oh yeah,
you had?
they burst. Like so I'd fill and make a roll like a ring or the spiral,
Uh-huh.
and then go back and actually spin them, making all of them. And of course, I
Okay.
could go halfway down and one burst. So I just chop it and tie it off, and move on to the next part of it.
Hold on, TJ. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta address something real quick. Hold on. First of all, what's up, JM? Amy says you're a perfectionist, TJ. That's what I'm talking about.
I am. I mean,
Chang said, top right.
that's my wife.
That's Greg. Greg was in my restaurant and didn't pay. 4 orders of some young guy. And 3 orders of blue sock noodles.
What? That's your wife messing around?
You need to pay your bill, man. Go back and pay that man. Chang needs to be paid. Why are you doing the Chinese like that, man?
TJ, that's your wife?
Yeah, we started watching, and I was like, yeah, I'll go live with y'all.
Pay that Chinese man or woman.
Yeah, I've never had the opportunity to run out on a restaurant before. My friends wanted me to one time when we were in Philadelphia, but I was too nervous. It's like, no, there's cameras everywhere these days.
You bugging, Greg. Why you admit to that?
I didn't do it. They wanted me to.
Amy said I had to chime in. Michael said you got some perfect wieners, TJ.
Yeah.
No, they looked great, man. I might need to look into getting some different casings. I ordered mine on Amazon, and
that's what I did.
Yeah, because my academy. So here's the deal. And if I'm wrong on this, just tell me I'm wrong, because I'm not a hunter. But from my understanding, I was able to get these hog casings from Academy, no problem, a couple months ago. And then now I believe we're in hunting season. Like I said, I could be wrong, because all the damn casings, they never have any of them. And so
I went yesterday to go get some because I had one package and it wasn't going to be enough of what I needed. So I went hunting at Academy and they're not there. I went to 2 different hardware stores that supposedly had it. They didn't have it. I ended up just going to our local meat market and asked them, and they're like, yeah, we got a whole hank, or I think is what they called it. And it's a lot, and just got it from them. So it was actually interesting to see that.
Yeah, I need to find somewhere locally, because those sausages looked really good, no homo. And mine are like they'll look really good, but then, man, like some of these are just so ununiform. You got skinny wieners, you got thick. They're all ununiform, so we got to figure that out. Your wife's hilarious, bro. Your wife is hilarious. He tried to grab my sushi roll. Hey, I hope. What's your wife's name?
Amy.
Amy. So hold on. Your wife's Amy. It's not Chang.
No, that's not my wife.
Yo,
She's the one. She was the one that said I was a perfectionist.
Okay. Am I the only one who thought that Chang was your wife's like
No, I thought
troll
Chang was
account?
your wife.
I thought Chang
Right.
was
No.
your wife's troll account,
Oh
bro.
shoot. I may really
No.
have violated Chang though. Now that I think about it.
I was about to say, I hope your wife comes with the same energy towards Greg at the opening because he'll be there. It sounds like we need to have Amy and we need to have Chang at the grand opening.
No, I don't know.
Chang, come do
Yeah.
some stand-up comedy at my restaurant, bro.
Right, that might be my friend China, but I'm not 100% for sure on that.
Got
might
me
be
dying
China.
over here. Got me dying. You know what? I'm gonna act a fool tonight. I'm gonna put the StreamYard link in here one more time. Chang, show your face. You're
Please.
hilarious. Come
I think
up
that's
over.
my guy China. I hope it is.
Come up here and entertain us, bro.
Got
Gorgum
catfish
said,
on
got
smoked
catfish on
sausage.
smoked sausage.
So Sean, you're saying all your sausage comes out, different sizes, and then you have to repeat the process. Do you take that finished product and put it back through again? What do you do when it bursts? Like, talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, when it bursts, it bursts. Like if it's a big burst, then you gotta rip that, you gotta cut that link, that casing, right? Take some of it out and then tie it off wherever it burst.
And this is like a tie, like a balloon tie, 2 fingers tie.
Yeah, exactly. But if it's a small burst, I mean, technically you could keep going, but the casing, sometimes they're all different sizes. I can be going for a good. I see you, Chang. I'll bring you on in a minute. You can kind of keep going. And for a while, they'll all be the same size. Everything will look good. And then all of a sudden, you'll get a casing that's just really, really skinny. And there's not much you can do about it because if you stuff it too much, then it's going to burst on you. So, Chang, I'm going to bring you up, but just know this is, well, I guess, All right, let's see what we got. And you better show your face. I don't see your camera. Chang, turn your camera on, bro.
Right.
Turn your camera on.
Scared motherfucker, you owe me mother food today, big boy. I want my money today. Scared with my money, motherfucker. You want my money like someday, I want my money today, big boy. How you do today?
We're doing great. And yourself? I don't remember. I didn't pay my bill.
Yeah, because you wanted to order the other Negro noodle today, and you run out my door, big boy.
Okay.
You wanted to order the extra class today, big boy. How you do, motherfucker? Like somebody. I want to suck your cock today.
All right. Chang, I got to put you in timeout. This ain't that kind of show, Chang. This ain't that kind of show. All right. Well, that happened. Gorkum said you got to give some of those sausage links, just give it a Bluetooth. That's what he said.
That was interesting. Okay. Tried, Chang.
Oh, man. That must be one of your homeboys, Greg.
Yeah, I've never seen the person before. Sorry about that, TJ. Where are you going?
Hey, I deal with that at work all the time. Don't worry about that.
We got Kirby's barbecue after dark, it appears. We got that.
I was getting eaten up by the mosquitoes.
All good. So TJ, you're coming in on Wednesday, is that right?
No.
Change it to Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday. Okay. You got anything planned for Tuesday?
Yeah, get with you as soon as I come in. Okay. See how I can help.
Okay. But are we gonna be working all week? Greg will be there Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Early morning Wednesday. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah. I think fly Tuesday night, be there early Wednesday morning.
Okay. Good deal. Yeah, we're working on doing some more marketing to make it as busy as we possibly can.
What are some of those ways that what are some of those things that you're doing?
To be honest, man, we've been getting in touch with a lot of local news. Like the local newspaper wrote an article on us last week. The county's official Facebook, Instagram pages posted us on their pages. We saw an increase in traffic already from that. So we're just trying to really do local. Where I'm at is in New Caney, Texas. There's a very large, I would say, kind of older population. I would say like they've been there for 30 plus years, right? And I'll get calls every weekend from people who don't even have smartphones. They're like, "Where are you guys at?" You know, they've been
Oh, wow.
driving these streets for 30 years, and you know they know street names and they know kind of directions, but you know they don't have GPS. So those people, you know, they're actually reading the newspapers, right? Whether it be online or you know actual print newspapers and things like that. So I'm going a little bit old school, kind of with that. And Greg, you and I kind of talked about flyers. We're gonna probably do that this week. Start putting some flyers out for grand opening and whatnot. Um, so yeah, we're kind of taking an old school approach for this
Uh,
opening.
yeah, I find that the flyers are really creative. You know, you got the cars, you got people, and you have homes,
Mhm.
right? So the neighboring homes. Oh, I think we lost Sean. The neighboring homes, you want to, you know, get them on the doorsteps, get them, at people's doors or on the cars parked in front of their houses. When you're at the grocery store, getting every single, car you can get to. And then as you're shopping and walking throughout the community, you're passing them out. So, yeah, you definitely want to, I think, hit up all those avenues. Promoting yourself is, really key for getting people in the door. People aren't just going to come because, they don't know about us. They can't come. But if they know, at least, know about us, they have the opportunity to come. Uh, TJ, what do you do? Are you doing any kind of pop-ups yet? Or, uh, are you have a restaurant yourself? What is your
No,
story?
I haven't started yet. I was actually supposed to do catering for a friend, my neighbor, at their yacht club, but it fell through at the last minute for something else, so they want to reschedule
Okay.
for
Okay.
jambalaya. It's not the barbecue part of it yet. It's just I know how to cook a lot of stuff. I did it at a restaurant for 8 years, a long time ago. So I mean, I have the
Mhm.
restaurant experience. I
Okay.
work in law enforcement right now, so
Oh, okay.
I haven't gotten into trying to get more established, get my bearings right about consistency. And now that I have the new smoker, I want to get that consistent before I really jump into stuff.
Well,
Hmm.
TJ, I promise you, I'm not selling marijuana out of Kirby's Barbecue. Okay, please don't come in there trying to bust stuff up. All right.
I'm out of jurisdiction there.
You know, I had to throw a law enforcement joke in there. Um, yeah, and I think we're gonna try to have some more curb appeal for that weekend because we're on a very busy road. So I think if we have a little bit more curb appeal than we usually do, people will kind of figure, oh, well, you know, what's going on over there. So I'm still working on that.
So
We
you're
don't,
talking balloons.
yeah, talking balloons, talking maybe like a big giant inflatable type deal. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see. Um,
What
the
about
my
it? Like,
neighbors,
go ahead.
my neighbors, the guys who run the food truck there, I think they know some musicians and stuff like that. So we might try to do some kind of live music type deal, or at least a DJ or something like that. It's just we have very limited space, so I'm still trying to figure that out.
Oh, okay. Are there a lot of families in the area? Do you see kids coming to the door? Would a jump house be beneficial?
We don't have the space.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't think we have the space for that.
Okay.
And I don't want to deal with the liability. Some kid
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. There's that.
breaks his
There's that.
freaking ankle, breaks his arm. I'm not dealing with that.
There's
I
that.
saw,
Right.
you know, I saw something crazy. Speaking of that, I saw something crazy. You guys, you may or may not, but Bill Miller's is a really old school barbecue restaurant in the Austin area. They were one of the first like Texas style barbecue restaurants in Austin, and they actually just lost a lawsuit. They got sued by a lady because she got second degree burns on her thigh from hot barbecue sauce. She spilled hot barbecue sauce on her thigh. She won like $2 million.
Plus, the
Mm,
sequel to Hot Coffee from McDonald's deal.
Yeah,
yeah.
I that just blew my mind. Like that's insane. Like that's I hope they had, and I'm sure they do. They've been around for a long time. I hope they have some really good insurance, but insurance companies probably are not going to cover them moving forward. Typically, they drop you after a big claim like that.
Mm-hmm.
Fat Man Barbecue said, "What time is grand opening?" So it's going to be May 30th through June 1st, 11 a.m. until we sell out. But I'm gonna try to make enough food to get us to about 6 p.m. That's the goal. That's the goal. So 11 to 6 p.m. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, June 30th through no, I'm sorry, May 30th through June 1st. That's the deal. And then, the smoke shack will be 100% complete by then. The smoker will be in. Sometimes, guys, here's another marketing tactic for you. Sometimes, even when I'm done smoking meat, I'll throw a couple logs on the smoker, maybe even a little bit of wet wood, mess with the damper a little bit, and try to blow some smoke for marketing. The smell
Oh yeah.
penetrates through the area. People see it, they smell it. That's another good marketing tactic for you, Greg, right there.
Oh, definitely.
So take a split with me when I go out and do my pop-ups. A wet
Burn it,
split,
yeah.
and throw that on and let it just
Hell
smolder
yeah.
there.
Hell
So,
yeah.
Greg, you want to cheat?
Definitely.
I used my wood pellets for my pellet smokers in a smoke tube, and I had that going in my cabinet smoker, but just with nothing going on in the smoker itself. And the smell just smelled phenomenal outside all day because I was doing yard work outside. So if you didn't want to bring the smoker itself, you could always just go get a smoke tube and put pellets in there and burn it in the background where they can't see it, and just let the air. I mean, it just smells phenomenal.
Oh wow! Just put pellets in a smoke tube and light the pellets on fire.
It smelled phenomenal.
Wow. Okay, that is a cheat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, guys, we're not going to be on super duper late tonight. I think we were on for what, close to 3 hours last week?
Yeah, my
Something
wife
like
was
Yeah.
already looking at me sideways. She's like,
Yeah,
she was
I
like,
bet. I want to give people the opportunity right now to get some last minute questions in. If anybody else wants to come up to the panel, go ahead and do that. The link is in the comments. You should be able to see the link. It's a StreamYard link. I did put Chang in timeout, so he will not be popping up anymore.
Right.
I did put Chang in timeout. But I know Hope's Barbecue was in here earlier. Hope Smokes Barbecue was in here earlier. If you want to hop up, go ahead. Any questions that you guys have, go ahead and feel free to ask them now. And we can get those addressed. TJ, you got
Yes.
anything for us, man? You have any questions, any comments, anything you want to talk about, man?
I saw the Smoke Shack, the video yesterday when you posted it. It looked good. It's coming along.
Yeah, it's coming along. I'm trying to figure out. I'm thinking about having someone paint a mural on the outside of it, kind of, with a bunch of, maybe throw some paint a brisket on there, paint some beef ribs, some pork, and get kind of creative so when people are driving by, they see it.
Loud and obnoxious. That's what you want to do.
Yeah. I mean, I can just
Gotta
paint
have
it
that
black, but
something that catches the eye.
yeah. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll be able to get that done before we open, but I'm working on it. Greg,
yeah.
your event, 1,200 people. How many people are you staffing for that event, my friend?
Staffing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 people. But
Yeah,
but you're
6 people.
What are you serving?
Serving French fries, loaded fries, and brisket sandwiches.
Are you chopping your brisket or are you doing slices?
I will now be right. Yeah, because I'm chopping, I can probably go down to 4 people. But yeah, but I'll be chopping. Right now I'm currently slicing, but Sean and I were just talking about that just yesterday, if not this morning. About moving to a chop product on the sandwich. and that will just in conversation increase productivity like leaps and bounds, right? So let's talk this through. On the griddle, let's just say if I'm at the griddle making the chopped sandwiches, and then I'll have a person next to me, making brisket fries, finishing off the brisket fries. And because I'm thinking it's going to be really busy, I bought an extra fryer so I can have a person on a second fryer processing fries. And then my daughter kind of is, as she's like, kind of at the end of the truck and making sure that she, takes the finished order and puts it in the bag and then places it. And then my wife, to take orders. Um, and last time I went out, I kind of did the whole drive through window Chick-fil-A process where I had one person taking the order, and then my wife would confirm and collect the money for the order. So I really like that process. So that's two people. And my daughter, Amanda, kind of work the line, myself, and then an extra fry person. And then I have a person on standby because depending on how well sales do with fries, may need to come from work to pick up fries or return fries because fries can only be returned before the close of business. So this person is a runner to either be able to pick up more fries or to go to the store to return stuff if I've purchased too much, depending on how, this works out. And then that same person is going to be helping me do dishes at my commissary at the end of the event. So yeah, 6 people. Does that sound like too many? Sound like I thought that through?
I mean, if you got the labor budget, knock yourself out for sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, it just depends on if you're
Yeah.
supply what you need to have a good
Right.
experience for the guests.
Yeah.
But also think about your bottom line as well. If you feel like you can get it
Right.
done with less people, do it. But if you feel like I need those people, then you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. I'm a guy that I kind of can do everything by myself. I would prefer to because the level of consistent it's gonna be at a very high level. But I kind of like I'm training these kids, I'm training my staff, and I want to give these people opportunity to work because I know I'm gonna want to be able to call on them to perform at high
Sure.
levels. So it's okay for me to pay. They want to work. I want them to work, and so it's gonna pay off in the end. I know it's gonna cost me a little bit more up front, but it's gonna be worth it. That's the fun part about starting this process too, is being able to you know allow other people to enjoy in the process, and they really have been.
I mean,
Yeah.
for me, it would be, have the more people because you're still early on in it anyway, and you want a good experience for your customers to
Right.
have them retain them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. No,
Hmm.
it's certainly a balance. Certainly a
Hmm.
balance, but that
Hmm.
customer satisfaction is definitely should be at the forefront for sure. Especially like you
Hmm.
mentioned, Keith. I mean, you're first starting out. Like we talked about this last week, Greg, about how when someone orders a pound of brisket, they're not getting a pound of brisket. Like I'm throwing an extra slice on there for them. Especially like this first couple months we've been open, people have been getting some good. They've been getting some good portions for sure. I've been pretty
Right.
generous on the cutting board. I mean, at some point you got to get real with it, right? But I want people to keep coming back. I want people to be happy. I want people to be our biggest fans. I want them to get not
Yep.
only the service that they deserve, but also, feel like they got their money's worth and they want to come back because we talked about it with samples. Once they try it, once they have that good
Hmm.
experience, they're gonna. I see you, Gorkum. I'll bring you on in a minute. I know they want to, come back. So
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out real quick though to Hope Smoked Barbecue. He said we just got a food trailer yesterday. I'd love to jump on, but we're still working outside on it. That's awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome. Hope Smoked Barbecue, man. He was on.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he was on the live last week, and we were talking, and he was talking about his catering business. He's doing big time catering business and pop ups and his food looks phenomenal. If you guys aren't following him on Instagram, you need to go check out Hope Smoke Barbecue. He has got a great story, family man. Just all around seems like a really good dude out of San Antonio. And that's awesome, man. Congratulations on the food trailer. I know we were talking last week,
Congratulations.
right, Greg? You were
Yeah,
asking
yeah,
about
like yeah, that's a shocker. He like that's a big commitment. He talked about that though.
yeah.
Wanted to
Maybe
take it to the next
maybe
level.
we pushed him a little bit. I don't know.
Maybe.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, man. And
Congratulations.
send us some pictures on Instagram, bro. Send me some pictures. Send TJ some pictures. Send Brisket Daddy some pictures. I want to see this trailer. What's going on, brother? We got you on live.
Hey, good
doing?
afternoon, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're good. You're coming through clear.
Hey, thanks for having me. Yeah. Over here in Minnesota, it's a beautiful night. Finally got a nice warm day. So just got the patio set up for barbecue season.
There you go. What's the temperature in Minnesota right now?
It's 80 degrees today. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
pretty crazy for May.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for
that's
taking
pretty
some of
warm.
my questions earlier. It's I've been thinking about starting a pop-up for a while. I've done catering for just nonprofits, churches, and friends and stuff. And I do IT full time, and I just like to get set up some sort of part-time catering business or a pop-up thing. I really like the concept of that, so I've been looking into a lot of it. So I've been watching a lot of your videos, and this podcast here, Q&A, is super helpful. So thanks, guys, for putting it together.
You're definitely in the
deal.
right place. We're in the same boat, IT, tech, and just starting up, doing the catering and finding your place. This is definitely the place to learn and grow. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
good, man. I'm glad to hear that. I really couldn't keep going without you guys. To be honest with you, I'm kind of the type of guy who needs a little bit of positive feedback, and that's the way I'm coached. I mean, that's the
Right.
way that's my psyche profile. So, just the fact that you guys watch the videos, comment, and enjoy them, it means the world to me.
They're extremely helpful.
Good.
They're extremely helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they are.
I don't want to go down on a path to talk about myself, but I left the restaurant business in 2021, January 2021, and I never thought I would ever go back. But now that I'm here, it's nice to know that some of the things that I had learned are helping other people. What are you working with back there, man? What smokers you got? It looks like you got a couple.
Yeah, you want me to, so I got a Oklahoma Joe, I think it's called the bandana here.
Okay.
It's got the cover on because we live in Minnesota. It's like I cover them during the winter, otherwise they rust. Then I just got a charbroil here. Another Oklahoma Joe. It's not the Longhorn, it's the smaller version of that.
Okay.
Those are my three main pits. I want to do a build soon. Because doing bigger events, it's a little more difficult to taking care of two cookers is kind of a pain in the butt. So
are you? You're doing two at a time sometimes, huh?
Yeah. So I did. Oh man, how many was it? It's probably like 18 pork butts for a church event last year, and then another time we did about 16 boneless turkey breasts, and so it can be a lot to do on two pits. So I'm looking at sorts of like 250-gallon propane tank builds, just something to minimal that I could tow to a pop-up as well. I only got a minivan, but my minivan's got a hitch. It's it's a V6, so it can pull a barbecue trailer just fine. Mm-hmm. A small one.
Okay. Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal. Yeah, get a 250 on a trailer, man. You'll be good to go. You'll be squared away. Go see my boy Paul from PRM Barbecue Co. He'll get you squared away, man.
Yeah, if you've got recommendations for barbecue pits or trailers up closer to where Minnesota is, I'll gladly take them. Throw them in chat here, and I'll look it over when we get done. I'd be open to ideas as well because I don't know how to weld. So building it myself I realize is out of the question. Plus, I got 4 kids too, between the age of 8 and 12. So it's just bonkers over here. I don't have time to do it, but I can make time to barbecue. I just can't make time to build a pit.
Well,
So on
you know,
your Oklahoma Joe,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead, go ahead, Sean. Oh, on your
I was just
Oklahoma Joe there, is that a vertical smoker, the first one?
Yeah, it was. So it's got. You ever seen them before? I mean, I can. It's getting kind of dark here, but hold on. Give me a sec. I'm gonna set this down. You go. You want me? You want me to
Chinook
show it on?
barbecue. Yeah, you can show it.
Okay.
Chinook
Yeah,
barbecue
definitely. Yeah, show it.
asked a question though. He said, Gorkum, where are you in Minnesota? Thinking the same thing here in Sauk Rapids area of Minnesota.
So I am in about an hour west of the cities, in a town close to. I guess the closest town would be like Hutchinson. So not sure if you know where that is, but there's not a lot of barbecue places around here, so it's very popular. And I've had people tell me that I should open a barbecue business for a long time because they like my pulled pork. So here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's basically.
Yeah, we see it.
So you can fit about 4 or 5 on here, and then you can usually fit about 4 on the on this sideways one.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a long thing, so you got to do multiple ones, multiple cooks. So you cook a bunch, and then you pull it, put it in the fridge, and then you cook some more, and then you just get it all out, reheat it.
What's that firebox look like on that?
The firebox.
Yeah, you kind of open it up. Didn't get to see the whole thing just too quick there. Okay.
It's dirty. That's what it is. It's dirty right now. That's
it loads from the top.
Yeah, so it loads from the top. You can load it from the side too. And again, it's dirty. I haven't cleaned out the ash since I used it last week, so I'm airing my dirty laundry right now. But you can load it from the side. I don't usually load it from the side. I load it from the top.
Yep.
But my handle fell off, so I got to use a glove when I grab it, otherwise I burn myself. But I don't have much feeling in my hands anymore, anyways.
Well, Gorkum, you're getting some love. You're getting some love from Minnesota, man.
Am I? Yeah, I can't see the chat right now.
Yeah, Chinook Barbecues from Sauk Rapids, Minnesota. Trumpet Matt. Oh, no, not Trumpet Master. I'm sorry. Michael Kelly is from. He's in Minneapolis. So you're getting some love up there for sure, man.
Good. The barbecue scene has definitely taken off the last couple of years. I mean, just within, I'd say, the last 4 years, the town I live in, or the city, there was no food trucks, barbecue trucks, and now there's just a huge demand for it. So there's a brewery down the road from me called the Bobbing Bobber Brewery, and they have a food truck there every weekend now, like a barbecue food truck. So it's getting big, a lot bigger than I have the time for right now. But just getting a pop up and doing stuff like that'd be fun. Just as a hobby.
Do you have everything?
At least to start out.
Everything you need? Because you do catering now. So do you have like everything you need to do a pop up, like hand washing station, 3-compartment sink?
No, so I used to be able to. I haven't done catering in the last couple of years because I used to be able to have access to a church to use their kitchen. I don't anymore, so that's been the kind of the current struggle. So I've been watching some of Kirby's videos about him suggesting just getting the table out there with the 3 wash stations and just doing that, giving the clean water tank and then the dirty water tank and just, I mean, just so many little logistical things like that I knew I had to sit down and figure out like what's the best way to do is, and Kirby, learning from you, and just, you obviously, someone told me the only way to learn to make good barbecue is by making bad barbecue, and kind of the same thing, learning from other people's trials. And so I've been learning a lot from your videos, man. I appreciate it.
Good. And I got Fat Man Barbecue on the back end here. Give me a second, brother, and I'll bring you up, okay? Give me just a second.
If you want to swap someone else out, man, that's cool.
No, you're good. I think I can get everybody. I'm just going to answer.
We're going 5. This is a big night. This is history for Kirby's Barbecue right now. I'm excited to be a part of history. Yes.
Hope's Barbecue said we got a great deal that we couldn't pass up. He's talking about on the trailer. Y'all definitely helped, inspired us. We did post it on Instagram, but more pics will be coming soon. Okay. I'll have to check that out.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, no, that's big.
This channel is really helping people. This conversation is really being helpful, a lot more than I really understood. So I'm glad to be a part. Thanks, Sean, for allowing me to be on also again.
Yeah, man. Like I said, this channel, this ain't nothing without you guys, man. This ain't nothing without y'all. Mid Atlantic Auto and Tool said, "Good evening, fellas. Glad I caught the chat. Loving all the content. I'm starting out myself in Baltimore, Maryland. All
Let's
right,
go.
you'll do well in Baltimore, man.
Yeah.
You'll do well in Baltimore. I think people will really support you." Trumpet Master 77 Barbecue. It was absolutely perfect weather this weekend here in Central Texas for grilling. Yeah, it was, except for Friday, man. Friday was terrible. It was freaking crazy thunderstorms. It was insane. The Fat Man Barbecue. What's up, brother? Welcome to the
What's up?
live.
What's up? How
Welcome.
you
Okay.
guys doing
Welcome.
this
Made it.
evening? What's
Awesome.
up, man?
Glad you're here.
Yes.
Talk
Hey, I'm
to us,
down in the
man. How
Twin
was your
Cities, man. I'm in
weekend?
St. Paul.
You're in St. Paul. Hey, all right, let's go.
St. Paul. Let's go.
We need some more
Yeah.
up Midwestern Minnesota barbecue heroes. So we got to start a movement
Well,
up here. It's
well,
overdue.
here's the real question: are y'all gonna bring Texas to Minnesota, or are y'all gonna do it Minnesota style?
It's gonna be Texas all the way, man. All the way, baby.
There you go. There you go. Gorkum says, I don't know about that.
I don't know. We gotta. I mean, I've got the opportunity to taste barbecue from a lot of different places. I have not tried. I've not been to Texas yet, but I don't know. I think there's. If I could have my way, I'd do some Texas style, but I'd also do some. I do my own twist, a little Minnesota style. I gotta throw in something. So.
Well, Gorkum, you've never had barbecue then.
Well, I hope it's not hot dish.
That's
So
a
it's
good
like
one,
that.
man. It got me off
Zing.
guard. He got me. He got us
Batman,
both.
what's going on, man? Talk to us.
What?
Fat Man, what's going on, man? Talk to
Yeah.
us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
we
good.
hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as long as you don't serve no hot dish at your barbecue restaurant, that's really popular up here.
Yeah, no, there's no hot dish. No, the closest hot dish at our place is cold, or is potato salad, and that's served cold. So that's about as
Right.
far as we get. Yeah.
What do you mean by
So
hot
Fat
dish?
Man
What does that
Barbecue,
mean?
tell us a little bit about yourself. What's going on? What do you do?
Well, I've been a cook for a long time, for many years, and yeah, I've been a long time cook, man, and my mom bought my first offset when I lived in St. Louis with her, and barbecue brought me back because I was in deep depression back then. But she bought me an offset smoker, and it's been a wild ride since then.
So, Fat Man Barbecue, where are you located? Where'd you say you're located at? You're in
I'm
Minnesota,
in St.
right?
Paul, East St. Paul.
St. Paul. Okay. And what are you doing right now? Because I've seen a lot of food on your page. Are you doing pop-ups currently? What are you working on?
What I'm working on right now is getting all my equipment together to set up a pop-up over in St. Paul here. You know, I'm getting all my wood connection, meat connections, and I'm gonna do a big pop-up over in my neighborhood fairly soon here.
Very cool. Very cool. So what do you like to cook the most right now?
My favorite thing to cook, honestly, is ribs and brisket.
Okay. Okay. Good deal. Good deal. So St. Paul, you're in St. Paul, Gorkum somewhere in undisclosed location in Minnesota.
Hutchinson,
Hutchinson.
Minnesota. Yeah, about an
Okay.
hour west of the cities.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. So what, if you don't mind sharing, what do you do as a 9 to 5, man? Fat Man Barbecue.
I work for the state of Minnesota, man, helping people for the state of Minnesota, and then I do my barbecue on weekends.
Okay. See, and that's something I love about the barbecue community is we're all a bunch of weekend warriors who eventually one day are like, you know what? Let me start taking this a little bit more seriously. Let me do some pop-ups. Let me get a food trailer like Hope's Barbecue, Hope Smoke Barbecue, open a restaurant, stuff like that. I think it's a really good, it's kind of empowering, right? Because you see a lot of, even the top barbecue restaurants here in Texas, like you follow these guys' journeys, and they really did start out just making briskets in the backyard, and then eventually, they got a Texas top 50, restaurant, and so everyone starts from humble beginnings at barbecue. Nobody's at the top from the start. Everybody has a chance, and it's cool to see everybody from all different parts of the country. Even just here on the panel, right? You got Greg, Brisket Daddy Barbecue in California. You got TJ in Louisiana. We got 2 people from Minnesota, and we had people in the comments from Minnesota as well. I don't know. My videos are getting pushed to Minnesota apparently. But what do you want to talk about, Fat Man Barbecue? What can we talk about, man?
Man, I just love the setting of the brotherhood, the collaboration with everybody, man. This is really special. This is what we really need, and we appreciate you, man, because I've been following from day one, man. I'm a day one with you, man. So, and I love being part of it.
Good. Greg, TJ, help me out
Yeah.
here, guys.
Yep. Go ahead, TJ. I was gonna throw something at TJ. So I have an Oklahoma Joe, and so going kind of back to the thickness of metals. What is the Oklahoma Joe and the Picos and the other model? Are they all about the same?
No, well, I have a Brazos, and it's going to be the same size as Sean's, but
Okay.
the thickness of metal is going to be, it's a 1/4 inch, which is the kind of the standard when you look at all the other guys, like the big ones that want to talk about when they're building pits, like 1/4 inch is what you want to go because it retains the heat. I'm
Right.
having a problem of my fire being too hot. That's why I have to have small splits.
Oh, okay.
So I can't have a huge bed of charcoal because it'll be too hot in the pit itself. I mean, in the smoker.
Yes.
So I'm running it about 20, 25 minutes, putting the splits in, 1 or 2, depending on how the size of the splits. So I'm using less wood, but I can't have that consistency. Still what I'm learning on that.
Good. So I'm glad that you said that because we kind of missed it earlier. What was the issue you're having? So the issue that you are having is that your smoker is running too hot. And so, do you have a damper that you've been using also?
Yeah, I actually use it a lot. I'll cut it halfway and actually close the door and have the vent like halfway down. That way, because when I put the 2 logs in after I've got the cold bed established, it wants to get too hot, so I have to slow it down. So I'm having to use the devices set more often than where I see other people. They just say, "Well, leave it wide open. It works for them, but it's not working for me right now."
You're just gonna have to find that happy medium, man. You're just gonna have to do more cooks and
I've only
figure
got
out.
4 cooks on it in the where so I'm still got a lot more to do with it to learn it.
Yeah, no, for sure. You guys in Minnesota, man, are there any big barbecue festivals or events that go on in Minnesota, or what's the barbecue scene? I know you had mentioned like there's not very many barbecue restaurants, so it's when you do find one, it's pretty popular. But did they ever put on any festivals or events? I know we're going into summer, so I'd imagine with good weather, you probably have more stuff. What's going on in Minnesota as far as barbecue?
Well, around here in Hutch, there used to be a rib competition, so we came in second place for that. That hasn't. They haven't done that the last couple of years, though. There's a golf course about a half an hour from here. They do a pretty big rib competition every year, but it's more just it's not anything. Usually condensed within the county. If you lived outside the county, you don't really know about it. So, like, I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff going on in the Twin Cities that I don't know about.
Okay. Michael Kelly, he lives in Australia, but he's from Minnesota. He said University Avenue would be a good location for a pop-up.
Yes. University is. I used to live. I grew up on the east side of St. Paul as well, and we would go over the University. Yep. White Bear and right by I-94. Yeah, we used to go on University all the time. So yeah, that's a great idea. That'd be a great place for a pop-up. Let me know if if you know anybody with a parking lot we could use. That'd be great. Throw it in chat. Thank you.
For sure. What about
Thank-
you, the Fat Man Barbecue? Do you know any events coming up in your area, man? Anything you're looking forward to? Maybe either cooking at or just going and enjoying.
Yeah, I would love to do some collaboration with people up here.
Okay, maybe you guys can get together and throw some kind of summer bash or something, man. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Figure something out. Nano's Pie says party time. So Nano's actually, if you guys aren't familiar with him, he watches all the videos. He actually started a pop-up, but he's not doing barbecue. He's selling pizza.
Oh wow.
He does. Yeah, if you look him up on Instagram, he's got some really good pictures of he's doing basically a wood fire oven pizza pop-up, and I thought that was a super cool idea because outside of barbecue, pizza is like my favorite food.
Hey,
So
yeah,
he's doing that.
right. Seriously, that's like kind of where I wanted to. One thing I wanted to do was like I love making pizza, and kind of thought about that, but it was just too challenging. So please, Nanos, follow me on Instagram so I can connect with you and see your food and watch your progress. I'm very interested in that.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. Mid-Atlantic Auto says, I'm building a prime 250-gallon smoker now. I'm also a fabricator. Keep up the good work, brothers. Speaking on that, just so you guys know, I know I'm shilling for my boy here in Texas, but PRN Barbecue Code does ship to all 50 states. So if that's something you want to look into, you can look into it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say on the topic of pizza, it made me think of, so any of you guys who have done pop-up before, have you ever partnered with another restaurant? So let's say like a pizza place where you make the pulled pork and then you bring that in to them and they put it on the pizza or something. Is that, do you see many partnerships like that where you guys live?
I'll let you
I
guys
have
answer first.
Yes, I have not. I think I wasn't for sure if you spoke on that, Sean. It was in regards to partnering with a restaurant if if something is not on their menu that you can provide for them. Coincidentally, when I was in the restaurant depot doing some shopping, I met an owner of a Creole soul spot here in Sacramento, and I was just like, "Yeah, man, I'm making brisket. I just started." And he's like, bring me some by. And I was like, yeah, sure. I'm trying to see it on the menu. He was like, bring it by. And so, like, I would imagine that opportunity is available. If you can produce something, a restaurant can say, hey, this month we're having the special of, smoked brisket or whatever, or the brisket on our pizza or pulled pork. That would be great. I think that's a very good model or option to look into.
Yeah, as long as it fits into your business model, what you're trying to do, I don't see an issue with it. What I will say is there's a lot of like festivals and events. Like we had every year Texas Monthly, which is like Texas's biggest magazine, and they're in charge of putting on the Texas Monthly's top 50 barbecue list, the top 50 barbecue joints in Texas. They also go outside of Texas and rate places as well, but they have a festival every year in Lockhart, Texas, which is the birthplace of Texas barbecue. And at that festival, they had vendors from all over the place. Like they had Yeti there. They had I think it was Tito's Vodka. They had there. They had a bunch of different vendors, but they also had. You guys have ever seen those Uni pizza ovens?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they were out there, and so man, they were slinging pizzas, and they had pulled pork and the pineapple and stuff on there. They had these portable grills. There was a company that made these portable grills, and they were selling steak and stuff. So like festivals and things like that are awesome places to collaborate and do things like that. It's fantastic.
Right.
Chinook Barbecue said, Kirby, you're giving us the down and dirty, not just the glory. Is what helps a lot. We appreciate you and Brisket Daddy, of course.
Thank
Greg, you
you.
mentioned. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You're good, TJ.
Yeah, go
Greg,
ahead.
you mentioned you went to Restaurant Depot. What are you getting at Restaurant Depot? Because I go there
Um,
too. I have access to go to Restaurant Depot.
Me too.
yeah, it's open to the public now. You don't have to have
Yep.
a membership
You
or
have that
anything.
card,
If
right.
you want the membership, then they just kind of hold on to your receipts. I was just shopping for brisket, just looking at the pricing. They don't have good pricing for their meat selection.
Agreed.
They've got too much going on really for me. I usually end up at the US Chef store, and now I have
Okay.
a wholesale license for Calvada meats. Um, but I like to kind of peruse through the stores every now and then if I see something on sale, just if I'm in the area.
Yeah, I'm
No,
gonna look into Cisco. I've had my experience in the past with them. Sean, do you go to Cisco or you go to Gordon?
so I have used Cisco and my previous restaurant experience.
Mm.
Um, and I like Cisco. You know, I don't use them currently. I use Gordon. They're a little more small business friendly. Cisco is kind of more big business. So I use Gordon. I use Gordon currently, but I don't have any gripes with Cisco.
And,
They
and
make good
Gordon,
stuff.
Cisco, or competitors, they do the same thing to delivery of your
Yeah,
product.
yeah.
Okay.
Cisco's probably, if I had to guess, I haven't priced them out. I need to. Cisco is a much larger company, so they
Yes.
probably have better wholesale pricing. So
Okay.
I need to look into that, to be honest. But Gordon is right down the street from me, and they don't care what your minimum orders are. You can just walk into the store, so it's just very convenient. But I do need to, as I grow, I will probably take a look at Cisco because I can almost guarantee their pricing is better.
Right. I use Costco and Sam's Club and Restaurant Depot here. But what I run into is at Costco and Sam's Club now, they start selling pulled porks with no bone in it. They just giving you just regular, they debone it for you. But I need the bone in there because that's my little detector to know when my meat's done. And I pull the bone out.
They're doing that because
Right.
they get more for it. They're charging for deboning it. Restaurant Depot sells both options.
Yeah. Okay.
Ah. Hey, I got something for y'all in Minnesota. Chinook
Yep.
Barbecue said uh, he'll be in Minnesota in May.
Yes.
Or I'm sorry, he said Minnesota in May is okay. I guess it's a festival or something.
Yeah, it's a festival. Minnesota, May. Yeah.
I'm not gonna late.
Yeah, Minnesota in May is next weekend, May 9th and 10th, in St. Peter, Minnesota.
Yeah, that's a little ways from me. So that's southern Minnesota, I believe.
Is
That's
that a
not too far
barbecue
for me.
festival?
Yeah. Oh, it's close to you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth the drive if they got good barbecue.
Yeah, right. Yeah, hopefully it's good barbecue, man.
Gets
Is
me out
it
of
a
cleaning the garage.
barbecue-centered?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Is it a barbecue-centered event, or is it just kind of a
Yes.
festival? And okay,
It's a barbecue festival where it's like Memphis in May, but they made it Minnesota in May.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Shit, y'all need to go out there, man. Y'all need to get y'all's names out there and go see what the competition's looking like.
I may do that, man. That's a good idea.
Hey, y'all need to go check it out. I'm gonna catch up on these comments. Justin James said, I've been thinking about a food trailer. I have around 2 to 4 caterings a month, and I
Ooh.
do around 8 pop-up sales, 8 pop-up days selling barbecue lunch plates from Arizona. Yeah, man, you're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, that's
You're
awesome.
rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Don't over
Just have
leverage
more.
yourself, but it looks
Yeah,
like you're doing volume.
Yeah, I think Sean said this the best. Whatever you think your budget is, like let's double that so we can be prepared for, your permits, your extra stuff, your wrap, right? Your insurance, your storage. So yeah, definitely, it's very possible. We just gotta plan and strategize. That's for sure.
Hey, Sean, you asked me. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sir.
No,
you asked me what I cook with. I got an offset smoker and I got 2 pit barrel smoker where I hang my ribs and my chicken, and then I got 2 small barrel smokers. That's what you asked me earlier. I'm sorry, I missed the question.
No, you're good. You're good. You like those barrel smokers?
I love them. I love the pit barrels, man. They're really good, man. Because the ribs drop on the coals and it just gets that nice flavor of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I will say is obviously I love smoking on an offset smoker. However, I will say kind of the old school, just regular $25, $50 charcoal smoker that you get at Walmart to cook some ribs. Dude, that direct heat on them ribs, it ain't nothing like it. I'm telling you.
That's what I learned on. That was my first smoker.
I
or
think
my
that's
first
everybody's,
one.
right?
Yeah.
Ain't nothing like it. Social Reloader has a question. He said to Brisket Daddy, how do you keep your briskets warm selling at your pop-ups, or do you cook on site? Thanks.
Oh yeah, that's a great question. Thank you, Social Reloader. So yeah, I bought the Cambros, the black 6-hour Cambro boxes, right? And I can get 2 briskets in one box, and those stay hot for 4 to 6 hours. I don't like my briskets laying on top of each other, so I try to put a pan or something in between them so they can just breathe. But I'm timing my cooks to where, you know, they're coming off the smoker and resting for a couple hours at the house, and then or at the kitchen, wherever I need to be, and then they're going into my Cambro boxes and staying in there until I open them up. And there's been a time I do have a smoker on site where I've brought one back up to temp that I had in the fridge, and let that sit on the smoker for an hour or so. um, but yeah, keeping food warm is not really a problem. We have ice chest, we have Cambro boxes, and we have a smoker. I actually have a food warmer also, right? I've got a 3-tray food warmer, but I'm using that for my baked beans and stuff also.
Okay. All right. Hope Smoke Barbecue says, what POS system are y'all using, and do you recommend one? I recommend Shopify. I use Shopify.
I got that now.
There you go. It's super simple to use, right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
It's kind of like some people may not have heard. I mean, most of you guys on the call are in tech, so you know what Shopify is, right? But mainly used in e-commerce brands. But no, Shopify has a great system to be able to create a website. Very simple, straightforward, even if you have no tech skills whatsoever. And then you can also integrate your POS system. So I recommend Shopify. Some other people on the call might have a different recommendation, but that's who I like.
What do you where do you guys just to look for, like, starting out for getting just the different, there's so many different things just for food prep, the different bins that you need. What is there a place that you know of, like a wholesale place that sells that used, or would you even bother getting them used to just get new? Like, is there some lessons learned from when you guys started out where maybe you bought new some things and you said, it wasn't worth it, you should have just got new, for, like, I don't know, just wash bins or just stainless steel three sink portable stuff? Like, I could create a long list of different things you probably need for a pop-up, but just from like a food safety, food prep thing, what have you guys realized is probably best to get new versus what's some things that you can get away with getting used, just to save some money?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I bought everything new because I don't know how long did the other person used it and how did they treat that piece of equipment. So I got a food warmer from Amazon. It was about $324, but it can hold like it's 5 racks, 5 shelves on it. So I bought that brand new. So I recommend new because it's new versus somebody else had it. You don't know what they abused it or just.
Yeah,
that makes
I
sense.
recommend new as well, because until you have the experience and know what to look for when it's used, it's better just get new if you can. And I got like a lot of bins and stuff from Restaurant Depot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that's cool to hear that they don't require that they'll let anybody in there now. Because for a while I thought you had to be like some sort of licensed part of a restaurant or something. So it was like a private members only sort of thing. So that's good to hear that you can go in there now and shop there.
Yeah,
I got some opinions on this.
Good.
I got some opinions on this, but before I get into them, guys,
right.
I need someone to drop me a super chat, man. I need some money. I need somebody to drop me a super chat. This is a volunteer army here we got on the panel. We need somebody to show us some love. Give us a super chat. Support the channel. If you're not following any of these guys on social media, you need to be following them. Guys, shout out your social medias.
on the Fat Man Barbecue on Instagram. It's my site, what I do, and Facebook, Fat Man Barbecue on Facebook as well.
Logging in now and joining the Brisket Daddy Barbecue, the Brisket Daddy BBQ.
TJ, where can they
TJ?
follow
Oh
you?
no, I haven't established one yet.
Today's your
Okay.
day, my friend. You gotta get
There you
you'll
go.
start now. So yeah, you
I'm
gotta get
still
one
dis- I'm still discussing my name with my wife. She she didn't care for what I chose so far.
Neither did mine at all.
Gorkum, you got any pictures
I
of your
got
food online or what?
I got two names I've been just talking with my wife earlier about today. So nothing that I'm going to share on a live stream, but I'd gladly bounce them off of you guys privately to see what you think. But you know, I gotta protect the brand and whatnot. I don't want to throw something out there and have someone take it from me. And you know,
Right.
so
Exactly.
Get that patent
Cool.
first.
there's another barbecue guy from Minnesota here. I gotta you know protect my own.
Oh, I'm already
I was just
trademarked,
kidding.
baby. I got mine already, baby. I'm all
Oh, that's
set.
right. I'm
There
sorry.
you go.
Well, there's a couple other people in chat, so I just got to be careful. But no,
There you go.
I'll hold
Yeah.
myself accountable. Next time I join, I'll have the name figured out.
There you go. Well, show the people some love. Show the guys on the panel some love. Go follow them. Like the video, comment, subscribe to everybody's stuff. Leave a super chat, guys. Support the channel if you can. Become a member, especially if you want to get that one-on-one coaching. If you need some help with your concept, become a member at the barbecue business coaching level. I know $50 a month. You're like, damn, that's more than my Netflix. But I promise it'll be worth it. We got Brisket Daddy out there throwing $6,000. He thinks he's gonna make $6,000 at this event, man. $50 is a drop in the bucket. $50 is a drop in the bucket. I want to catch up on some comments, guys.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Mid-Atlantic said, good night, fellas. I got to hit the set. Got to be up at 4 a.m. I have to watch the playback tomorrow. Keep the smoke flowing and brisket going, fellas. All right. We got 53 Craft Barbecue is in the building, just dropping in. Justin says, I just got into Square. Don't know if it's a good thing, but it's the only thing I knew of. Hey, start with what you got. If you don't like
not
it,
bad.
you can always switch over.
Can we pause there before you keep going to the next one?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, so buying used. I bought a used Square reader on eBay, right? So I buy used as much as possible. Like, if I'm looking at it and it's in great condition or good condition, whether it's a knife, a cutting board, a bowl, if it's rated NSF, I'm sanitizing and I'm using that. I'm trying to save every single penny as possible. If the deal is too good to be true, if it's electronics, if it's a food warmer and somebody's selling it for $200 and it's a $1,200 food warmer, you need to be cautious. If that's my deal with eBay. If it's too good to be true, it's not good. And then I'm putting my bid in at the last minute. But yeah, I shop the Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist daily.
Okay.
Yeah. I bought a $120 fryer for $50 from a guy. And when I got to his house, he gave me another $25 item just for free because he just, he wanted to give it to me. So yeah, I'm trying to buy used as much as possible.
Yeah, no, Greg, that's great. I was completely off topic, but we'll get back on topic. But yeah, no. As far as used versus new, it really just depends on what you're buying. So
yes,
right, I agree.
For my restaurant, I'll tell you what I did. So for the big equipment that I knew had to work and be good, like I've got a full, standard tall food warming cabinet, fully insulated food warming cabinet. I bought that brand new. Okay. The range, I bought that brand new. Right. The refrigerator, the commercial fridge, bought that. All the big equipment I bought brand new. I just sucked it up and bought it brand new because that's the stuff. I'm gonna grab my charger before this dies because that's the stuff I need to know that it's gonna work and not have any issues. Right. Now, but in my city, like Marketplace has been great because you'll find there's so many restaurants that have come and gone, and people still have all this restaurant equipment. and small wares equipment and different things, you can find, tea urns that are still in really good shape, right? You can find all kinds of stuff that you can use that really isn't that in that bad a condition, right? So I think it just, sorry, I'm moving around a lot. It just kind of depends on what it is, right? I mean, you just kind of got to feel it out.
Yeah, that's some good
everybody kind of
advice.
mentioned.
I appreciate you guys circling back to that question.
Do you want to get
we
used
didn't
silverware?
finish
I
it,
don't
that's
know,
why,
probably not. Right? But there's certain things I don't see an issue with getting used.
Well, real quick, mosquitoes are biting me. I got to put some kids to bed, so I'm going to drop off here. But thank you guys for your time, and I'll catch up on the rest of this afterwards. So I hope you guys have a good night. Thank you for your time.
Good night, Joe.
Peace. Thanks for hopping on.
Good night. Good night.
We actually, along the same lines of what we're talking, 53 Craft Barbecue said Vivor makes good food warmers with 5 racks for around $325 to $350. So that was my first food warmer, was a Vivor, but I got some gripes. Oh, he's got one right there. There it is. Yep. So I had a different model than that. It's the same thing, but it was configured a little bit. It had 2 doors instead of 1. But those things work great if you're going to set them on the countertop, like you got it right there, and leave it there. They work great. No problem. My issue was I was putting my briskets in there overnight, and then in the morning I would load that whole food warmer up into my truck, take it to the pop-up site, plug it in there, and what happened was grease and water got into all the electrical components.
Oh no!
And I went through 2 of them.
Oh wow!
And they wouldn't keep temp at all. And so my opinion on them is, hey, if you just needed to stay in one place, you just go stick it there and use it. Great. It's a great budget friendly option. But if you plan on taking it somewhere, don't do it. That water pan in there, it'll spill into all the components. The grease from the briskets is a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Were you moving it with stuff in it?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's why.
Oh yeah.
You had to take all that out.
Yeah.
So just use it, but just take the water out, right? You can still just don't transport it with water in it.
Yeah, but the meats you got in there, all the grease from the brisket and everything, it's just like
and you can't put a bottom pan in to be able to capture that because
there's not enough space.
Right. No, there's not enough space.
Very small. Very small.
But one thing I'll tell you,
if you lay towels?
Go ahead, Greg.
I was gonna say, what if you lay towels at the bottom to capture any juice?
Yeah, you're gonna have a fire. You're gonna have a fire.
I know, but while you're transporting it, you don't have it on though, do you?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So
just
mine's a 4 shelf rack.
Yeah, no, they're nice. They're good units.
They are.
It's just, I mean, I was abusing it, and it just wasn't working out for me. But one thing I'll tell you is we have here in Texas, we have a company called Ace Mart. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ace Mart or not, but they're a restaurant. CJ's looking at me crazy, but they sell restaurant equipment, and they have a lot of, I don't want to say off-brand names, but they have a lot of different options, from the most expensive stuff like the Alto Shams to something a little more budget-friendly. Like I was able to get, there's a company called Gusto, Gusto.
I heard of them.
And they make a fully insulated food warmer. It's the tall one. You guys have probably seen in my videos, maybe. It can hold probably, I mean, it can hold I don't know, maybe 20 sheet pans. Like it's a big food warmer, and it's $1,200.
Okay.
So like when you get to a point where you need that much warming space, it's not a bad deal. If you're paying $300-400 for the small Vivor, when you need to upgrade, $1,200, it's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
And that's brand new. TJ, I think you're in trouble, buddy. Amy said you were throwing her under the bus with the name. we thought Chang was your wife for a minute, man.
Right.
God, Chang, remember that guy?
53 Craft
Okay.
Barbecue says the Vivor is good for pop-ups. Okay, all right. I guess I just was tearing it up.
I used it at a parade one night when we had friends and family. We brought the RV out so we'd have places to be, and we did food. And I had it under the table, plugged in with the generator. It worked out well. We stored all the food. Like I brought the food out. I didn't ship it in there, but it worked out for me.
I hear you throwing shots.
I saw that. I heard that.
I also bought
Okay.
I also have like steam tables too, which works out well when you're doing like serving purposes.
Like chafing
Yeah,
dishes,
steam
steam
tables are
tables.
great.
Yeah, like the ones with water.
Yeah.
I did pulled pork and I had jambalaya out for the event where people just serve for themselves, and it worked out great.
Do you do the circle one or do you do the rectangular ones? Because there's two types.
Rectangular.
Now.
I use the rectangular.
Yeah.
So and then I stopped. I try and not use the aluminum pans anymore. I bought like restaurant style pans and just wash them myself. And it's just I was going through them. It was like I'm just throwing away money at that point.
Fat Man Barbecue. These beef ribs and baked beans and coleslaw look amazing.
Thank you, sir. I was selling those plates like hotcakes, man.
Yeah, that's making me hungry right now. I want this right now. So how much is this plate? You got one rib. Oh, I like this. I don't care what the price is. I need this right now.
Yeah, I sold it by a pound, so it was about $30 a pound, and they bought it. And I was like, yeah, and it was falling off the bone, man. It was so good, man.
I think at this next pop-up situation I'm gonna do for this school, I gotta throw some of these on and just say, I know they're gonna sell. Out of 1,200 people, somebody's gonna at least gotta.
Oh man, they're gonna fight over that, man. They're gonna fight over that big rib, man.
Yeah, as soon as they see that, okay. That's a wrap. I'm definitely going to do the beef. And I like the way you have with the baked beans and the coleslaw, but I see this is where I get in trouble. Like I do too much. Like that
is a problem.
I do too much.
Yeah, it's a problem. I got too many sides myself, and I'm really trying to decipher what I want to do. Because like I said, I got a cooking background, so I got so many.
You do. I see that. Yeah, you got a lot of different food.
Yeah.
So you sold the beef ribs by the pound.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you pretty much it's all basically 3 ribs anyway.
Right.
So it's like 3 pounds.
Right. And I had a set of 2, so
yeah, that I got some for Easter and did that for a family and the neighbors, and it was a 2-pack, 3 ribs each.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was going like that. And I was like, you got any more? I'm like, nope, I don't got no more. I had just the 6.
I'm doing that. All you had was 6 ribs for sale?
Yeah, I made 2. I made the pack of 2 and I cooked both of them. And
what'd you pay for the whole pack? I paid about $90.
Club, and it's $71 for the 2.
Oh wow. See, it was like 85 to 90, I think, for me.
Yeah.
So they sell these at Sam's Club and Costco, like this big, like this?
I got that one Sam's Club, the one that I made right there. I got the 2-pack for $71. I remember when I got them, $71.
Okay.
I got mine from Restaurant Depot.
Okay.
TJ, they got HEB in Louisiana or no? I don't think so.
I don't think there's one anywhere near me.
I can't wait to take y'all to HEB when you come out here. HEB is the best grocery store in America. I promise you that. I promise you that.
Okay, so my meat guy from Calvada Meats sent me a price list. 3-bone short rib, dino ribs, $7.49.
$7.49 a pound.
I would imagine so. Yeah, $7.49 a pound.
I don't know what that would.
ribs right now.
3 bone short rib, dino rib. Yeah.
Just one?
Spare
Dino.
ribs. It says 3 bone short rib.
Is it one pack or is it just a 1 or 2 pack?
I think they probably sell it by the double, but they're selling it by the pound. It sounds like.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, 3 bones for $7.49. So, yeah, I don't know. If each bone is a pound, that's 3 pounds. It's $21 for 3 bones, something like that. We'll have to see. We'll follow up on the next live.
That's more around the finish weight.
Yeah, you guys got me.
Whatever you do, don't take the membrane off the back of it because it's going to hold it together. Not remove that membrane. People show you remove it. No, it's going to keep the meat together.
Not on the
So when I finished mine,
go ahead. Yep, go ahead, TJ.
When I finished mine, I actually, to make it easier to serve, well, for everybody else, I deboned it and then cut the membrane back off of it after. So it was literally, it's kind of just the top of the rib is what got cooked. I mean, what got served, which came out really good. But yeah, you got to keep the membrane on there or it will fall apart. Just think about it. It's the point of the brisket. I mean, it's just that rich and it gets real jiggly. I mean, it was like a big burn-in piece.
You see me close my eyes. It was so good, man.
Hey, so do you guys take that off the pork ribs off your ribs? Do you take the membrane off your ribs?
I cook too many of them to do that because I cook like maybe the largest I cooked was 12 once, and I was like, I'm not going to peel all the membranes off these.
You score them?
Yeah, I just I score them. Yes, I score them in the back. Yes, I do that.
You do score them on the bone?
Yep, score them. Yep.
Yeah, at volume, you're probably going to score them. If you're doing a couple racks for the family, go ahead and take the membrane off. But at volume, you just score the back, man.
I've just never been successful taking them off.
Yeah, I mean, you're cooking them on that backside, so it's not really gonna.
Okay.
It's not. Really
it cooks down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it has.
I do want to answer something that's been going in the chat for a while. I've been ignoring.
Okay.
But Eric Burton's been asking about steam tables versus like a propane or electric, like 3-burner camp stove. The steam tables are great because you can prep your sides and whatnot that you're doing, or your pulled pork or chopped brisket prior ahead of time, and then put it in your third pans, and then you have that steam table. You just take a scoop and scoop it on your what you're doing. So I'd say the steam tables for sure are going to be. You don't want to be fooling around with freaking propane 3-burner stove trying to keep stuff warm.
Yeah,
definitely go with the food warmer. 53
and you're burning more gas. You're spending more money on gas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to stir it too because they'll burn at the bottom too.
It will. It will.
Yeah.
Then you got to watch the propane level. Yeah.
I bought 3 of them, 3 different styles. One for a big pan, one for a double, and one for a triple, where each pan got smaller. And I really just use it for the doubles now, and it's great. I mean, makes it so much easier. So you have the big pan, you got the half pan, so it's 2 pans in it.
Mm-hmm.
I got those from Amazon, and it worked out. No, I'm sorry, I did actually. I got those from Home Depot through their online, and they worked out well.
Okay.
I was surprised that they had that.
Yep.
53 Craft Barbecue knows what's up. He says HEB most definitely is that store. You already know. Let's see. He also said, I did 4 racks of dino ribs today. They were a big seller. Speaking of dino ribs, I'm on Gordon right now. It looks like I can get them for $7.69 a pound.
Oh, okay. So that's good though. So $7.49 a pound then. Okay, so and that's for three bones.
Probably they're probably going to sell it to you in a double rack, like so it'll be 3 and 3.
Okay. Right. So okay.
They sell it by the pound, but they're going to sell it packaged by 6 ribs.
The double pack, 6 ribs.
So what I'm looking at is bone in, 3 bones, fresh, a 2-count bag, so that's 6 ribs.
That's 6 ribs. Yep, that's what he said.
So one bag will run me $97.
Yeah, so it depends on how big they are.
Right.
Well, you're
So
right.
we're assuming they're a pound. Well, that's finished as a pound, right?
Well, finishes. Yeah, he sold. Fat Man said he sold them for a pound. That's going to be finished weight.
Right.
My 6 came out to about 6 pounds finished. Once I pull, and that's actually pulling the bone out and
slicing it and stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm looking at $98 for 6 bones.
Mhm.
That puts my
Yes.
cost at $16 a bone. I'm selling that mug for $30.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
$30 a bone. Got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, you
So-
got to, but it's not going to be a high profitable thing.
No.
That's for sure.
No. Eric was also talking about, he asked about boiling. I guess it depends on what you're doing, right? Like I do have one of those propane it's a 1 burner. It's a big you plug up a propane to it and you turn that thing on. It's like what you use to fry a turkey, right? You know, the
Right.
propane burner. Like you could use that if you needed something like that, but yeah, steam
Does he
table.
talk about boiling for keeping food warm?
Yeah.
That's
I
just
thought you
that's
talked about
just
boiling meat.
Yeah, I thought it was-
don't know. Maybe he's
All
selling
right.
Who knows?
I was like, no.
Hey, yo, funny story though. I went camping with some people, and this lady pulled out a pan and boiled some ribs and some Budweiser for I don't know 20 minutes or so, and then put them on the grill. They were amazing,
Yeah.
nice and tender.
Oh,
I never.
that I used to do that when I was years ago. You could just boil it, just like the beef ribs, like the little ones or whatever. Boil it and then throw it on the grill, and you know it's going to cook right. And all you're doing is charring up on the barbecue
Yeah.
sauce. They come out
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that.
But
Vincent Mueller
not anything else.
says just got back from a beach cruise and the barbecue beach cooks were out in force. Barbecue filled the air. Aloha from Hawaii. All right.
Yeah.
Hello. I've been to Hawaii. It was a fun time. It was a good time. Hope's Barbecue says got to sell them by the pound. I believe is the best. Not all those ribs will be the same weight.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, so physically weigh that beef rib before we serve it to say this is at X
Yeah.
amount of weight.
Correct.
Now you doing it with the bone?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I
Weighing that
figured.
with well, yeah, because
That's-
you're buying
that's
it
a
with the
part of
bone.
Right.
That's a
Right,
part of the
yeah.
experience.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Well, because remember, I had said from before when I did the one from Easter, one was great, one was square, one ended up being a little bit of a triangle. So one of the
Triangle,
ribs
yeah.
was like really small.
Right. Yeah, and
Huh.
it's really bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kurt.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, you got to look at them before you buy them. You know, you got to judge it because you don't know what the bottom one look like. So you got to judge what the one on the top and see how much fat is on it versus how much meat is on it. It's a toss up, really. Honestly, you just gotta
Yeah.
sit there a while and pick through it.
Eric's getting mad at us. Eric said noodles, boiling noodles. Okay. I wouldn't boil noodles on site, man. But yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you could use one of those propane, stoves for
Noodles?
boiling
Why
noodles.
wouldn't you boil noodles on site?
You
Noodles
can
have to be
pre-do those
boiled
and
on
just
site.
warm them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess
Do
so.
those
Yeah,
ahead of
You can just dunk it to warm it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, do those
Okay,
ahead of time
yeah.
for sure.
So
I
let
wouldn't
me
wanna be
say
fooling around with that.
Yeah, that's
half the
true.
pop-up.
That's
So you
true.
get a basket like this, and you
Yeah,
get
exactly.
put them in there and just warm them up
Oh,
like that, and then
that's what they
you know,
do.
shake them
That's
out.
true. Yeah, mom's
And they
been getting on
actually
me. Go ahead.
they
Go ahead,
sell those
TJ.
pots. I'm sorry, they sell those pots where you'll have like the 4
Yeah.
colanders that fit in,
Mhm.
where you can actually do multiple portions.
Yeah, I guess doing as much prep as possible. I kind of like to do as fresh as possible, but mom's like, no, we gotta prep as much as possible, and then you're doing as least as possible on site. So I have a client that's 100 people. They want me to cook on site. Well, I can't cook for 100 people on site by 11 a.m. unless
No.
I'm out there like crazy early, and I only have my Oklahoma Joe. So like I have to cook all my ribs, morning of 4 a.m. to be done by 8 to be on site by 11.
Well, that's why the hot hole is great.
Yeah.
They trying to work Joe from Oklahoma like a damn slave. They think he can do everything in a couple hours, man.
I mean, this stuff takes time. Takes a lot
It
of
does
time,
take
so you've
time.
got to do it
Yeah.
ahead of time.
Okay. Yep.
Eric,
So
I don't think
go
any
ahead.
of us are using generators. We don't have
I
food
use no.
trailers or trucks. None of us on the panel. We do pop-ups under a tent. We don't have any type of generators or anything. I guess if you needed power for like your warmers and stuff, usually, speaking for myself, usually the places I go to have somewhere I can plug into with an extension cord.
I burned up an electric fryer on my generator. I don't know how I know it's under the amount of wattage, but I since stopped using the generator for my fryers and went to propane. And then I haven't been out in the night, so I don't need to light up my my trailer with lights or anything. So just propane.
So I purchased a small generator. It was like a 30-watt generator, solar power generator, and then I have a 12-volt refrigerator, so I keep my my sides cold, and also my sodas in there too. So it's about 12-volt, and it lasts me a little while with the solar panel. So I do use a small solar generator for my pop-up.
Oh yeah, I got a 1,000-watt DJI battery that I use for my drones. I took out there. That's for like my speaker and or lights. And I did one of my coolest buys was this Igloo ice chest. Igloo makes an electric ice chest. It's about $800. It's dual zone temperature gauge. You can set one side to freezing, one side to refrigeration. And I found it at the secondhand store for $400.
Okay.
I bought it specifically because I want to do my smoked ice cream. When I go, do my pops up, smoked ice cream is on my menu, and I needed
I had to do it for my smoked ice cream.
But I've been using it for potato salad and keeping fries frozen, really. So
you're not gonna make $400 selling smoked ice cream all year. Why are you lying? You just wanted to buy that shit just to buy it.
No, I literally needed. Yes, I did smoked ice cream.
You ain't selling $400 worth of smoked ice cream this year. Quit lying.
I did. I literally did. I'm not lying to you.
This guy. Hope's Barbecue says those beef ribs are definitely a loss leader. If I get someone who just wants beef ribs, I'm going to try to upsell them profitable items. They're saying sell it for $30 a pound, not $30 a bone.
No, he said pound anyway.
Yeah, it's about a pound.
And then Hopes is saying I pay for the bone, so I got to charge for the bone.
You damn right.
Yeah,
that's correct. Because when I tell it to you, it's your bone now.
Yeah. There you go. Hope said Kirby's face when you said $800 is a meme worthy. This guy. All right, guys. Well, I have been up since very early this morning cooking. I'm hungry. I need to go get me some food.
Yeah, me too.
But I appreciate all y'all for hopping on the panel and chatting with us. Appreciate everybody who tuned in tonight, asked questions, and watched the content. Super excited for what's to come from all of you guys. Everyone is welcome to hop on the panel at any time. Feel free to hop up. And y'all have a great night.
All right, nice meeting you, fellas.
Great.
Alrighty.
Thank you. See you guys next week.
See you.
Good night.